not be able to stay home, brother.
You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. We'll have a whole lot of bitches jumping shit. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Will cause a whole lot of jumping shit. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Will have a whole lot of jumping shit.
What's going on, party people? It's your man, 50 Grand, the Godfather, Nate Milton, and you are about to listen to another excellent episode from the Nefarious Media Network. Since January of 2025, we have been putting it down for the crown, and we've been committed to bringing you truthful, thoughtful, turned-up commentary as it pertains to the worlds of sports, politics, pop culture, pro wrestling, entertainment, and life. Yes, life. This thing that we are all just trying to get through day by day. An electric word called life, as the man used to say. And that brings us to the drive for 500. Yes, 500 YouTube subscribers, which gets us halfway to monetization, and 500 Patreon subscribers. Patreon.com/Nefarious Media Network. That's our stretch goal for the year. Because if we hit those marks, it allows us the flexibility and the freedom and the funds, quite honestly, to do some more things here at the network, to be more consistent with our shows, to bring you new shows, and to bring some people on to help with production. So if you believe in us, man, if you believe in what we're doing here, because we got a lot of hard-working people, myself included, working 50, 60 hours a week at the shoot jobs, got families, got kids, got responsibilities, but we still do this, man, because we love this and we believe in this. And if you believe in us and you love the shows that we do, help us out, man. Help a brother out. Help a sister out. That's all we asking, because we are trying to change the game by any means necessary, even if those means may be nefarious.
And now for something completely different.
it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
And welcome once again to the Kings of Sport podcast, the world's most dangerous sports show, aka iTunes' longest running episodic sports podcast, produced and hosted by two or more African Americans who are not affiliated with a major network. What is going on, party people? It is the first edition of the Kos-Pod for 2026, and we are going to start things off with a bang on this episode. Not only are we going to preview the Super Bowl, which will culminate one of the weirdest, wildest NFL seasons in recent memory. Not only are we going to talk about some of the struggles and strife and turmoil that seems to be surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers, but we'll get into some pro wrestling. We'll get into some real world things and just have some fun this week, because that's what we do here at the Kings of Sport. I, of course, am the Godfather Nate Milton, over 10 years in the game, and ain't a damn thing changed. I am still your favorite podcaster's favorite podcaster, and I am joined by one of the greatest producers in the game today, somebody who I may have to, if not give an outright apology to, at least give him his flowers. As we recently talked about on the parlay, I may have to give this brother his flowers when he hops on the stage, but y'all give it up for the man who is so proficient at his job that people call him the Caitlin Clark of production, aka Caitlin Dark. Y'all give it up for our brother, our friend, and our producer, Two-Way Ray Williams.
What's going on, brother Nate? I ain't gonna take too much time because I want to see why I'm getting flowers. Usually I get buried underneath the flowers for fertilizer, but I'm trying to figure out what's the apology about, Nate.
See, that's the beautiful thing about flowers, Ray. They're versatile. The juxtaposition, you can use it to show somebody support, or you can put it on their grave and you dance on top of it, Ray. Flowers are versatile like that. But we will probably be joined by the Professor Chris from LA a little bit later on in the program, and maybe some other guests and members of the team here at Nefarious Media. But Ray, since we're going to start talking about football, that's going to be the bulk of this episode, I figured that I would have to give you your flowers in this sense. Because as we all know, Ray Williams has said it vociferously and on many occasions here at Nefarious Media, that in his opinion, the greatest rapper dead or alive is one Ben McLemore, whatever McLemore's last name is. That is Ray's GOAT. And McLemore, I didn't know before we started talking about McLemore all these many months ago, Ray. McLemore hails from Seattle, so maybe the greatest Seattle rapper since Sir Mix-a-Lot with the Posse on Broadway.
I tried to tell you. Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, who is in the Super Bowl this year? Ray Williams? None other than the Seattle Seahawks with the 12th man. You know, that's their fans, Ray, the 12th man. Well, maybe this year they got to the Super Bowl because they had a 13th man on the sidelines, and that man's name is McLemore.
I didn't even know that. I know Baboni was gonna be in the halftime show, but really they're gonna have him coming down. That's pretty cool. He's gonna
maybe we get a McLemore Bad Bunny collab at the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's a collab I didn't even know I needed until now. But I didn't even know he was gonna be performing. Well, I'm sorry. You might have to repeat yourself, brother Nate, because our fellow king is just joined us.
Yes, y'all give it up for the man. Can't nobody hold this brother down, Ray. This man makes too much money to be seen at the thrift shop. And even if he hates you, it's all about that same love. Y'all give it up for the mayor pro tem of Los Angeles, California, the angry intellectual himself, my brother, my co-host, and my friend, the Professor Chris from LA. Can we rock? What's up, Doc?
Man, chilling. Just got here. I was finishing up an article, and that was probably about it. I was just finishing up an article, and I lost track of time.
It happens.
Yes, indeed.
So, yeah.
You came in at a good time, Chris, because I was giving Ray his flowers because the Seattle Seahawks have made it to the Super Bowl. Yeah. And as we all know, like the number one Seattle Seahawks super fan in the hip hop community is Ray's GOAT, Macklemore. So maybe all this Macklemore talk this year, Chris, has helped the Seahawks make it to the biggest game of the season.
Yeah. I probably, man, all the Macklemore talk. Me just finding out that Macklemore is from the Rain City. And because I mean, I know Seattle. I go there all the time. Not recently, but I know the place. And the only people I think of from there are like Nirvana and
Pearl Jam's from up there, I think.
Yeah, Pearl Jam, I think.
Pearl Jam, a lot of grunge acts and Sir Mix-a-Lot. That's all I think about.
Yeah, Sir Mix-a-Lot from there. Yeah, Sir Mix-a-Lot is definitely from there.
And now Macklemore is part of the pantheon.
Yeah, Macklemore. So we'll give the Seattle music. I don't know if we could say Seattle rappers. Well, I guess if you count Sir Mix-a-Lot and Macklemore. Yeah,
the two they got.
they got those two. So shit.
Because Chris, I really think there's a thing in sports called bulletin board material where a team will hear somebody say something and then they'll put it up on the bulletin board and that'll fuel them. And I think the Seattle Seahawks might have been tuning in the nefarious media and heard you and me and Jay and Gerard, Brittany, Jeannie, the whole world downplay the skills and abilities of this man Macklemore. And they was like, hold on. I can imagine Sam Darnold like, hold on, fellas. They doubt Macklemore like they doubted me. Let's show them what Seattle can do.
That had to be it because the Seahawks and the Patriots were not who I was expecting to be in the Super Bowl this year. They're like it's so far away from what my thinking was. I think it'll be a good game. I don't know, man. The excitement level isn't there. Like I literally would have rather any two other teams, right? Yes, the Macklemore juice. And I'm not super surprised, but the Patriots have built back up relatively fast, to be back in this position. I mean, they did it before, when they first got Tom Brady. It's just crazy that they're in this position again. So I'll give Macklemore his props.
It's funny because to Chris's point, Ray, like this is a matchup that I don't think a lot of people had predicted going into the season. And it's also a matchup that I think the network executives are like, I don't know how we go. It ain't got the juice. It doesn't have Mahomes. It doesn't have Lamar. Doesn't have Burrow or Josh Allen, like none of these big-time quarterbacks. You also don't have like the Eagles or New York or one of those markets or L.A. But I do feel like you've got an interesting matchup. Because as Chris stated, the Patriots had a couple rough seasons, including like the last year of Bill Belichick was bad. Then the last 2 or 3 years of Belichick weren't great till he got Jordan in his life, and that changed his whole life around Ray. And then when Gerard Mayo came in, like I thought Gerard Mayo was a good defensive coach, but he wasn't the right fit for that Patriots team. And then they brought in Mike Vrabel, and we saw Drake May, who had a great regular season. His postseason's been a little shaky, but the Patriots have gotten right back into the mix. And then with Seattle, you got a lot of people that are kind of cast-offs and people that have something to prove, like a Sam Darnold, like a Cooper, who was let go by the Los Angeles Rams. And so I think it's going to be a fun matchup. My money right now would be on Seattle, but it is a weird matchup in that, like, I I don't feel the juice yet. Maybe it's because we're still a couple weeks out, but I don't feel that Super Bowl buzz yet, Ray.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm kind of in the opposite feeling. I'm kind of feeling the juice now, man.
Okay.
I'm drinking the
Macklemore?
Kool-Aid. Yeah. I actually, because I was watching the clips. We're all men of a certain age, like Scott Bakula and Ray Romano, Andre Brower.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm not into watching like full football games like that, like for the full 3 hours. So I've been catching like the 15-minute highlight clips, but I watch them like they brand new. Like I ain't seen the outcomes yet. So like I think I had already heard about the Patriots Broncos game, but I just wanted to see how that played out. But I didn't hear about the Seahawks-Rams game. And so I was actually kind of rooting for the Rams, especially with Matt Stafford. I think he gets a lot. I think he's overhated. I think a lot of people kind of cast a lot of dirt on him and saying, like, oh, he's not an elite quarterback. And he spent all that time with the Lions, but people hype him up, but he still didn't get them nowhere. It's like it's a 50-man, it's like a 52-man team. But I always thought that he had tremendous talent and that he was tough as nails.
Won a Super Bowl.
Once he got out of Detroit.
Probably gonna be the MVP this season.
Yeah. And I think so, and I think he's deserving of it as well. So I really, especially after the Super Bowl that they won, they had to kind of restructure with Aaron Donald retiring and with a lot of their key pieces moving away, since they were pretty much kind of getting guys who were essentially like mercenaries, just getting free agents just for one time and having them combine with your group, including with OBJ or Odell Beckham Jr. But a lot of guys they had to get rid of, but then had to build a little bit from scratch with Puka Nacua and with some other cats that they had especially on their defense. And so I was really rooting for the Rams, and that was a very, very exciting game too, at least in the 15-minute clips that I saw. But it was a tremendous game, and I think it proved that Sam Darnold isn't just like he's not the product of what's around him, but he makes things tick. Like his running back Walker is tremendous. We all know about JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba. And like you said, the aforementioned Cooper Kupp was kind of, after his Super Bowl winning season with the Rams, was kind of relegated into obscurity, especially that. And that was like a record-breaking season for him. But
he was the Super Bowl MVP that year.
Yeah, and he was kind of relegated into obscurity until this season. And so I think but I think just by watching that game, just seeing Darnold kind of find his way. He did get sacked a lot, but just picking apart the defense and finding his tight end when he needed to, finding Walker when he needed to, just knowing who to go to and still being safe and protective with the ball, but going deep when he needed to, and knowing that and it wasn't as though JSN was just all alone by himself. It's like Darnold was kind of throwing him open in certain positions too. So I think that's just a testament to him, and I think this has been kind of like the year of the redemption of the quarterback with him and with Mac Jones, and I believe there's a quarterback who was kind of taking over for that was Mac Jones who was taking over for Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
and then
Daniel Jones before he got hurt.
Yeah, Daniel Jones. Yeah, Daniel Jones. At Minnesota, right?
No, in Indianapolis.
In Indianapolis, that's true.
Yeah, he was in Minnesota last year, then went to Indianapolis. But it's crazy, Ray, because I feel like there is this class now. Because it used to be, Chris, back in the day, when you looking for a quarterback, you had to draft a good quarterback, or you had to buy a good quarterback through free agency.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like you can still get a quarterback one of those two ways, but a new way that's kind of opened up. And I want to give credit to Gino, because I think Gino was the one that maybe started this when he said they wrote me off, but I didn't write back, even though now it feels like he might be writing them back because Gino kind of fell off a little bit. But we ain't gonna let that take away from the good 3 or 4 years Gino had when everybody wrote him off, Ray. And so now you got these quarterbacks who were terrible in a certain team, in a scenario, but they still have talent and they still have the mentality, you know, like they didn't flame out like a Johnny Manziel. They didn't flame out like a Josh Rosen or some of these guys who may not have had that, whatever that it is, to persevere and get a second or third opportunity. But now you got people like Geno Smith, people like Baker Mayfield, people like Sam Darnold, people like Mac Jones and Daniel Jones that have had these other stops. And now, like, you know what? There's actually some there, and we may not be able to win a Super Bowl with these people, even though Seattle may with Sam Darnold, but they can be a good quarterback that lets us get eventually to that franchise quarterback. And I think a guy who's going to benefit from that next year, Ray, is somebody like Malik Jones, who is Malik Willis, who is the backup in Green Bay. Like, I think Malik Willis is going to benefit from seeing some of these other reclamation projects, because Malik Willis was terrible in Tennessee, and I like Malik Willis coming out of college, but it's like, you're not good, my boy. But he's been, every time he's gotten in as a backup in Green Bay, Malik Willis looks like a top 15 quarterback, and so I think he's going to get a good chance to shine somewhere next year. Hopefully, like if I was the Steelers, I'd be hollering at him right now, like, come on home, Malik. We don't need you, Aaron Rodgers, even though we hired Mike McCarthy.
And real quick before, I don't know if you were going to say something real quick, Chris, but I just wanted to add it. I hope Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis gets a similar treatment where he goes somewhere and he actually gets that development, because his first year, I think he was just kind of thrown to the wolves. Like, he was handling himself pretty well until he got hurt, and similar to this season as well. So I hope that he gets his just due as well.
Yeah. The only thing I was going to add is Sam Darnold. Yeah, Sam Darnold is an interesting case. He's never like a bad quarterback or anything, but, you know, just for me, he was just like, I just thought of him as a career journeyman. I never attached him to a team, you know. I didn't even know what team he was on until probably week 4 or 5, you know, so that's usually with Super Bowl teams. I at least know the quarterback, you know. But it's just
you saying when Sam was at USC, Chris, back in the days when you was watching him, you ain't see him being a Super Bowl quarterback one day?
Well, I mean, like USC players are like, usually when they get to the NFL, they are hit or miss, you know.
Matt Leinart.
Matt Leinart. Like, I still to this day
Sanchez
say he should have went to the draft the first year he was eligible. Fuck these USC Trojans, man. I'm speaking as a USC Trojan, but like, don't let them guilt you into
right.
school another semester, dude. You are the hottest you are ever gonna be. Even when they lost to Texas the next year, it wasn't like it just, the loss was bad, but his draft stock just dropped so fucking much, you know. And I just always contend, like, if you got the chance to go to the NFL, that's a rare opportunity. Not just the NFL, but any pro sports league. Right. You could go to school online now, you know. You can still get an education, and I'm for people getting educations, but like I do think that like there's only a finite amount of time where you're going to be at the top of your game, you know. With Darnold's, he was one of those guys that like I'm not like a school spirit kind of guy, you know.
Hmm.
When I like was at USC, and TA in there, you know, I tried to get in the school spirit, but the only thing, like, I'm the guy that would go to the tailgate party to eat the food. And go home. You know, I didn't need all,
you didn't go to the game, Chris.
I never went to the game. I think I probably went maybe once or twice. I used to get, the department I was in, I used to get free tickets. So I would just sell those to whoever.
I knew it. I knew
Oh,
it.
my
When you even
goodness.
said it, Chris, I was like, this man was out here on the black market selling these tickets.
Yeah. Well, if they asked for him, I wouldn't. Because the thing with USC is
Chris was at the tailgate with a trench coat on, Ray. I got 2 for the front row. 2 for the front row.
Yeah. Because the thing, I did not graduate from USC. I was almost graduated. The last semester I was complaining in Willow Bay's office because of just a teacher that gave me a B on something. In the class, I didn't think I deserved it. So I think we compromised to a B plus, which I was really trying to get it up to an A or A minus, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I like my last semester at USC, I stopped going because I found a PhD program that was going to serve me better. Because at USC, I was only going to get 2 master's degrees. Okay. At the Chicago school, it was going to give me a PhD, and I didn't have to sacrifice my whole life the way I was going to at USC. I still had to sacrifice my life, but it wasn't the whole thing, you know.
What's your whole life?
Yeah, it wasn't the whole life. I still got weekends and shit. And the professors at the Chicago school were a little bit more understanding than the professors at USC, because USC is one of those like clout schools. It's like people just want that name attachment to I went to USC, or I'm a USC alumni. I'm a USC alumni. I don't like shy away from it. People assume I graduated from there. I'm like, whatever, fuck. I don't even correct them, you know, because it's just not a thing that I need to necessarily correct, you know. But it's that's why people go to USC. They don't go there for anything else. That's why people lie and try to get their kid, like with Lori Loughlin.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Aunt Becky.
Yeah.
Aunt Becky with the good hair.
And it's crazy with that too, because like at the time everybody was admonishing her. I know one of her daughters, a very pretty young lady, she's actually smart too. It's just she just didn't want to be in college, and I think that was a dream that her parents had for her. She didn't necessarily want. But I say all that to say that is how far intellectualism has fallen in this country, because people used to do that kind of thing because they wanted their daughters to be, or sons to be associated with like intelligence and being smart. So it's like, let me manufacture this intelligence. Now people are like proud that their kids are dumbasses, you know. So, like, it's just really weird how that tide is turned. And if you tell people that you went to a prestigious university or anything like that, it's like, man, you ain't nothing. You got the white man's degree, or, you know, whatever, all that shit. So, you know, all that. But yeah, back to Darnold.
Sam Darnold sitting there listening to this, talking about, what did I do, Chris?
He's definitely
fight on, brother, fight on.
Yeah, he's definitely a serviceable quarterback. And if he gets a Super Bowl, I do think it's going to be a big deal and a marker for his legacy. It's not going to put him in the elite class of quarterbacks. He's not going to be Joe Montana or fucking Peyton Manning or anything like that. But he'll have that to he'll be in the other Manning territory, not
Eli.
I was trying not to say his name, but yeah, he'll be in Eli's territory. So you know.
What you got against Eli, Professor?
So I'm an alumni from of the University of Tennessee.
I knew it. The SEC runs deep.
Yeah. And I was never a fan of the Vols, but I like Peyton Manning a lot. And it used to bother me for that stretch a few years. Eli had 2 Super Bowl rings that he completely lucked the fuck into. And then and Peyton Manning only had 1. And people used to use that as a barometer to say that Elon was better than Peyton. So that just irked me to no fucking end, because there's just no. That was the only metric you could give Eli over Peyton, was the fact that he had more than 1 Super Bowl. But when Peyton got the 2nd ring on my team, the Broncos no less, it just really made me happy. So I just haven't liked Eli or the New York Giants ever since then, you know. Gotcha. So that's the long story of that.
It's funny because as Chris said, like, having that ring can change the conversation, can change the narrative around these quarterbacks. Like, I think if Sam Darnold gets the ring, yes, it does kind of take away the Sam Darnold's a bust narrative. It takes away the Sam Darnold's the guy. He's a good quarterback during the regular season, but when those games matter, Ray, he's going to start seeing ghosts again, and he's going to find a way to lose. It takes away that. I think the more interesting thing, even though I do think the Seahawks are going to win, Ray, if the Patriots win, this sets up your boy Drake. This sets up Drake to like be able to coast basically for the rest of his career. This man, Drake made Dre. Drake made May. Ends up with a ring, Chris. Ends up with a ring, Ray. It already puts him, not through the eye test, maybe, not statistically, maybe, but it already puts him above Lamar. Already puts him above Joe Burrow. Already puts him above Allen. Already puts him above some of these other young quarterbacks, Herbert, your man Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence. It puts him above those dudes. Doesn't quite put him in the Mahomes category. Doesn't put him in the Hurts category, because Hurts, to me, is still a little bit above, just in terms of a winner. But like Drake May, to me, is showing me something. Again, he hadn't had the greatest playoff run. Like, the team has kind of been what's put them over the top in the playoffs, less so his individual play. But when it mattered, like in that AFC Championship game, they needed a first down. Drake May, who was struggling throwing the ball all game, was able to get it with his legs, put him in position to score, and then the defense and the special teams and everybody else took over, and they were able to win that game against Chris's Denver Broncos with Jarrett Damn Stidham, who hadn't thrown a pass since 2023, which is wild. Like, that's your whole job, is passing in the NFL, and you ain't did your job for 2 whole years, my boy. But I think that when we look at this matchup, Ray, right now Vegas has the odds slightly leaning towards Seattle, which I think is fair. But would it surprise you if the Patriots were able to win this thing?
I think it would, because had it not been for the injury that he sustained, like the starting quarterback for the Bo Nix for the Broncos, Bo Nix, who knows how that game would have turned out had Knicks been in the game. But I totally agree with you both. I think Seattle is the favorite, just based on everything that I mentioned before, with all the weapons that they have offensively and their defense. Their bend but don't break defense, because it's only so much you can do against the Rams, who had some firepower of their own, but they were able to, like I said, bend but not break. And I think that they can. I think that they can slow Drake May down enough. And I think because Drake May pretty much only has really one big weapon on offense, and that's Stephon Diggs. And we need to get into that brother and his off-field issues. The judge wouldn't postpone. Let's just say the judge wouldn't postpone my trial because I got a test to teach. So we'll get into that though. But yeah,
ain't nobody tuning in to see you grade papers, Ray.
Right? Yeah,
everybody tuning into this damn Super Bowl.
That's not a
tuning in to watch my lessons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that he's the biggest weapon that Drake May has. But I think that Seattle will be able to take him out of the game and force Drake May to go to other folks on his offense that he might not be used to going to. So I think for those reasons, I think Seattle is the heavy favorite.
Okay, so we got 2 votes for the Seahawks. Chris, granted we still got a little bit of time before we get to actually the game, before we get to game day. But right now, who would you put your money on between Seattle and the Patriots?
I would put it on Seattle, but the one thing I'll say is I would not be surprised if the Patriots win. I mean, the difference between like cultures can't be understated, right? Like if you're a team that lucks your way into a championship scenario, and if you've got a winning culture behind you, a lot of times that is enough to put you over the hump, and Seattle's got, they've had a ring within the last, decade or so. So I mean, it's not like they're just completely
It should have had 2.
Yeah, they should have had 2. But they're but I think Seattle, that just like what you guys are saying, they just got way more weapons right now. The Patriots, I honestly don't think God wants the Patriots to win.
Okay.
I think they were just he just kind of put them in this scenario to publicly embarrass them. But what do I know? But I like the Seahawks better in this one.
Okay, so all 3 of us going for the Seahawks, which easily. And Chris, I agree with you obviously because I picked the Seahawks too. But I thought of all of us, you would be smart enough to see the optics because some right wing show was gonna get this and like, see, these 3 African Americans are against patriotism. They don't believe in America. Drake May is a patriot.
Yeah, just like last year. Everybody, all the red-blooded Americans were going for Kansas City, which is a progressive.
Yeah.
Oh no,
that was weird.
Yeah.
What was it? What is it? Last year's Super Bowl? Or was it the Super Bowl when they were going up against San Francisco?
It was the Super Bowl when they were going up against the 49ers, and all of the MAGA folks were going for the 49ers because of Taylor Swift. They were mad Taylor Swift was hanging out with her boyfriend Travis Kelce, so they cheered for famously conservative city, Chris, San Francisco.
No LGBT folks in that place.
Yeah. And what's so weird about that too is like Taylor Swift kind of turned Travis Kelce back into a white guy, you know.
She damn sure did.
Tell it.
Like he used to, you know, when he was dating his sister, he like had a lineup and all that, and, you know, talk and stuff. And now he's with Taylor Swift. I guess he could drop the act, you know.
She turned. It was almost like a reverse Undercover Brother situation, Chris.
Yeah.
Where before, like when Travis was dating the sister, I feel like inside that was the real Travis that we got to see a little glimpse of.
Yeah.
But then he got with Taylor, and he's like showing up to the facility with his nice suit and his glasses. And Taylor packed me a mayonnaise sandwich, delicious.
He grew the mustache out instead of the goatee. I was like, come on, that is not a good look, bro.
Yeah, the mustache is the real kicker too. It's like, dude,
let the hair grow out too.
What the hell you do? And then go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think we just gotta take a quick detour. I mentioned it, but what do you guys think of this story with Stephon Diggs? Those who aren't in the know, Stephon Diggs was accused of assault by his former chef. He denies it vehemently. The Patriots said they're going to support him through everything. And like I alluded to, the judge gave not a recess, but a judge postponed his court date till after the Super Bowl, even though they didn't even know if they were going to be in the Super Bowl. This was like 3 weeks ago. They still postponed the hearing until after the Super Bowl.
The judge is a gambler. The judge saw what was up. He's like, yeah, these AFC teams is looking kind of soft.
Yeah, but that's not a unusual pivot for a judge to make. You know, when somebody's got like that, and you've got a lawyer, like I'm sure he can afford, you know, that they're gonna that's a move that they're gonna make, you know. And yeah, you know, I mean that didn't surprise me entirely too much, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Like obviously Ray, you know, innocent until proven guilty. Like that's
exactly
you know, the law of the land, or should be the law of the land. But and you know, I hope that Stephon Diggs did not do this stuff, because you know you don't want to see somebody hurting somebody like that, particularly somebody who has as much influence as a professional athlete does. I hope he hasn't done this, but if he did, once this season concludes, then he should be punished accordingly. For what he's done. But yeah, I'm hoping that he didn't do it, man, just because it's been a while, it feels like, since one of these stories have been reported. Doesn't mean that these things haven't been happening. It just means it's been a while since they've been reported. But if he did do this, yeah, man, you got to go, my boy.
Yeah, and on one end, yes, guilty or innocent until proven guilty. But on the other hand, believe women. So I'm never going to.
Yeah, okay. So that's I don't do that automatically. I'm a listen to victims person. Not I mean, he is a person of influence. You know, I'm not gonna say that it's impossible for somebody to tell a falsehood about him. You know, at the same time, you know, what happens with these stories is it usually every once in a while it stops at one, like with Kobe Bryant, but usually there's it like Diddy, it's a snowfall effect.
Cosby, Deshaun Watson,
Cosby, Epstein. There are people that do this kind of shit, and they have like very distinct patterns of it too. So so just I want to say that. So
I get it. I just like you said, the amount of women that actually lie about it is relatively very, very, very small. So I'm always going, at least, like you said, listen to victims, hear them out, and always believe that they're credible about what they're telling me. But also, into proving guilty. But it just seemed like Stephon Diggs has been his behavior lately has been very erratic. Not to say that any of the stuff that he's done before proves that this particular story is true, but all that stuff with him on the boat with those girls with that substance, it's just like, boy, get your life together, man. Get yourself together. I'm just hoping that through this that he just sees he needs to just focus on himself, focus on his profession, on being the best in his profession, and leave all this other crazy stuff. Like, don't worry about trying to be rich and famous and be around all these folks. Like these folks, those girls on the boat only gonna be around you during that time on the boat, and then they gone. They don't care about you. Like, focus on yourself and focus on the people around you who care about you. So.
And then to that point, though, Stephon Diggs, like, I think what a lot of people miss in his story, and part of it is because of some of these off the field type of antics, but Stephon Diggs has been good for a long time. Like, he was the one, a lot of people credit Josh Allen for his improvement and becoming a perennial MVP candidate. And you got to give a lot of credit to that to Josh, but it didn't start until the Bills got him Stephon Diggs. And now when you look at Drake May, the jump that Drake May's made, part of that has been being healthy this season. Part of that is a new coach and a new offensive scheme. But I think a big part of that is having a veteran like Stephon Diggs, who, much like he did with Josh Allen, gives a young quarterback like a security blanket. Like, I know, like, this ain't Jerry Jeudy he throwing to. Shade to Jerry Jeudy, or all the shade to Jerry Jeudy. But, like, when I throw that ball to Stephon Diggs, chances are he's going to come down with it, and if he doesn't, he's at least going to fight for it to make sure the defender doesn't get a hold of it, unlike Jerry Jeudy. But I think it's going to be interesting to see what that story becomes, and we won't know until after the Super Bowl, obviously. But I if I'm a Patriots fan, let's look at it from the Patriots angle real quick, because I think you have to commend them, even though I know a lot of people – see, here's the thing. Be careful what you wish for, America. Because sometimes and oftentimes you get it, but it's not what you think it is, okay? Before Trump got in 2016, Chris, a lot of people was like, man, politics so boring. Politics is so boring. We need to spice it up, shake up the system, Chris.
Yeah.
Well, the system damn near got shook to the ground because this man that got in office. When you look at the Chiefs and the little dynasty that the Chiefs had, that may or may not be over. We may be in a reset period, a rebuilding period, a reloading period for Kansas City. But so many people, Ray, was like, oh, I'm sick of the damn Chiefs. I'm sick of Patrick Mahomes. We need somebody else running things here in the NFL. Well, guess what? You're not getting somebody like the Eagles or the Commanders or the Falcons or the Bills, one of these teams that ain't really had that type of success, jumping up and taking the place of the Chiefs. You getting the Patriots, cuz the Patriots, they back. The Patriots been down for like 3 years, and now they back again. And so it's like, be careful what you wish for, because if the Patriots win this one, this may be the start of the Drake May version of the Patriots dynasty. And I don't think anybody wants that, Chris.
Yeah, I'm afraid that if they win, it is, If they don't win, this is the precursor if they win next year.
This is the villain origin story,
right? Yeah. So this is.
So hold on, Chris. Let's play this out. So Seattle wins. Sam Darnold is happy. He's not a failure anymore. Macklemore is in the stands cheering and crying and high-fiving Sir Mix-a-Lot. Confetti's all over the field. Everybody's happy in the stadium, Chris. And then you just pan the camera over, and in a shadowy corner of the field, with the confetti falling down like raindrops, you see Drake May just sitting there, just next time. And this is the beginning. This is Thanos showing up at the end of the Avengers. Like, this man finna be a problem.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I look at these things, especially when it involves the Patriots. It's just
this is gonna be hilarious though, Chris, because I'm telling you, if this is the start of the Patriots dynasty, y'all are gonna be begging for a hero to stop the Patriots dynasty. And Ray, The only man that may be able to get it done is the man that y'all just said y'all hated. Y'all was sick and tired of seeing him win, and that's Patrick Mahomes and them damn Chiefs.
That's the truth. It's going to take him another year, but yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty early, especially with, like you said, with the job that Vrabel's done over there. It's just been a tremendous job. I think they didn't give Jared Mayo enough time to at least try to develop, but that's just me. That's just me.
No,
but I think
it was like you need to leave. Like
exactly.
Okay,
But I think you had a proven commodity with the work that Vrabel did with the Titans, knowing that he can be a upper echelon coach, even if he didn't have like a top tier quarterback, he could still be an upper echelon coach. So,
and I think the good thing with Vrabel too, from the Patriots' perspective, Ray, is he is close enough in terms of being connected with those glory days of the Patriots, but he's not like a Bill Belichick disciple.
Right. Yeah. And it's a lot different if you would have had what's your boy name is Josh McDaniels.
Who is the coordinator? Like there is that link, but he's not the head coach.
He's not the head coach. Yeah, it would have been different like him or not Charlie. Not
Charlie Weiss. Like, where is Charlie Weiss? I think Charlie Weiss still
having him in as the head coach. Well, or
Charlie Weiss was at Ole Miss last year, I think, with Lane Kiffin.
Oh, he did.
No, that's his son. That's Charlie Weiss Jr. So I don't know where Charlie Weiss' father is.
He's probably just chilling.
Probably at Outback Steakhouse somewhere.
We'll see.
Just him and Romeo Crennel. And Eric Mangini. We almost had it, boys. All the Belichick's failed disciples.
Right. It was like the homecoming.
And then Bill shows up at the Outback Steakhouse like, Coach, what are you doing here? Did you see my record at North Carolina?
Right.
And then Jordan Hudson's like, Bill, get your ass away from them losers.
Right.
Georgia Power.
Sorry, guys. Gotta go.
I know. But yeah. Oh, one more quick thing I wanted to add it when you were labeling all the attributes and all the superlatives for one Stephon Diggs. You forgot to mention he helped your boy Kirk Cobangs get the bag at your beloved Atlanta Falcons. So that's one really big thing that he was responsible for.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about the Falcons this week with Kevin Stefanski.
Keep it moving.
It's crazy. The city is not happy or enthused about this coach. It's like Matt Ryan. Like, we love Matt Ryan, but it's like kind of like dog. This your first big decision to bring this man.
See, and that's so funny because now they're mentioning Phillip Rivers interviewing for Buffalo, and it's like, why are we going after, like, we had these quarterbacks while they were decent. It's like they don't have any head coaching experience at any major level, and yet you're still just by name alone. Like, it's like I don't understand.
Well, here's the thing. We can talk about the coaches for a second because there's been a lot of coaching moves since we last talked. Ray, Mike McCarthy, former Packers coach, former Cowboys coach, is now the head coach in Pittsburgh, replacing Mike Tomlin. And so there's rumors that Aaron Rodgers may come back for one last season to reunite with his former coach. You talked about the Bills, talking with Phillip Rivers. It looks like they're going to promote the offensive coordinator to be their new head coach. Mike McDaniel, Gucci Mike on these streets. Mike McDaniel is now the offensive coordinator in LA with the Chargers, which, like, that is a weird ass locker room already. And I don't know if it's good weird or bad weird because Jim Harbaugh is a little off and Mike McDaniels is a little off. I don't know if they offs kind of work together, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, you got one dude with the khakis and the other dude with like the capri pants and
the capri pants and the Gucci loafers. Like, I don't think this is going to work.
Are we doing?
What kind of buddy comedy is this? But then, Ray, the Cleveland Browns still don't have a head coach. And it's funny to me, Ray. You know why? Because the Cleveland Browns, as of today, have a Pro Bowl quarterback on the roster, and his name
No.
is Shedeur Sanders.
What?
Right? Shedeur in the Pro Bowl. What the hell happened?
Wow.
So here's the thing. For those that missed the story, Shedeur Sanders was named to the Pro Bowl roster, not due to merit, because, like I said, I like Shedeur. I'm a fan of Shedeur's, but his numbers obviously would not merit a Pro Bowl selection. But you had a few injuries, and then you had some folks decline the invitation. And so they was going down the list, and I think Shedeur was like the 9th, 10th, or 11th player. And they like, Shedeur, you want to come to the Pro Bowl? And he's like, all right, I do it, man. I do it. Perfect timing. So Shedeur Sanders, that's probably not how it happened, but in my head, that's how it happened, Ray. Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowler, and people are losing their damn minds on Al Gore's internet.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, I'm not surprised either. But at the same time, it's like the Pro Bowl is like my least favorite All-Star game.
Yeah.
And all the sports, including hockey. I like the hockey All-Star game better than the Pro Bowl because, like you just said, there's so many people that decline the invitation.
Yeah.
It's just no.
It's not even in Hawaii, I don't think.
Right, yeah. So I mean,
Yeah,
like it's bragging rights, it's something to put on a resume, but I mean,
he will forever. Chris, it don't matter if they cut him at the start of next season. He will always be Pro Bowl quarterback Shedeur Sanders.
And
it's just like AC Green will always be All-Star. AC Green that one season he made the All-Star game. So
just like Doug Williams, Super Bowl winning quarterback.
AC Green is another one from Seattle.
AC Green's from Seattle?
I believe so. I believe he's from Seattle.
Yeah.
Okay. And unlike McLemore, AC Green could hold it down. Some of y'all gonna have to think about that for a second.
I got it.
One thing I did want to mention about Shedeur is that, well, first off, like you guys said, I think the reputation of the Pro Bowl has diminished a lot, especially now with it not even being tackle football no more.
It's a skill challenge now, basically. It's a skill challenge and a flag football game, basically.
Yeah, and so
coached by Peyton and Eli Manning, so I know what team Chris is going for.
Yeah, yeah, and like shit, my fucking high school All-Star game is better than the NFL's NFL game. I only played on the football team for like 2 seasons, but it was I was still we had an All-Star game. I played on one of those teams, and it's better than this shit. I know that. Chris
was a middle linebacker. Ray, they called him the Professor of Pain. You don't know about this, man?
Right?
No, I started on all the special teams.
Okay.
Yeah, and that somehow made me an All-Star.
Chris was who was my man, the return man that was like, he wasn't good as a receiver. He wasn't really good as a running back, but he was always like the best return man. It may have been for the Chiefs or the Saints back in the day, right?
Yeah. Well, the Chiefs, I know Dante. Was it
Dante Hall?
Dante Hall. I was about to
Dante
say
Hall.
Yeah, Dante Hall. Yep.
They called him the human joystick, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That brother couldn't do nothing else but return kicks.
Right. Yeah. That was
really catch passes. Yeah, but he could catch a return.
And it was funny though, because every team Dante went to, they was like, you know what? Maybe we can use that skill and turn him into a receiver. And then after a game or two, they're like, no, get back there and return them kicks. Dog.
Right.
Yeah. I have a question, Nate. How long do the high schools hold on to those records? Because when I was a freshman, I lucked into 1 touchdown because I recovered interception I recovered an interception, and
it all the way back.
No, it was already like right by the end zone. So I recovered it there and got on.
He just found himself in the end zone with the football. He's like, I did it.
Right, and I got it because the thing is when I was playing football, like I was one, I don't have a father, so that was one thing. But two, like, I was like, I never like the kids' dads that were that had kids that played football. They took it very, very fucking seriously. You know, it's like, why is my son not starting? And blah blah blah. Like there was a mom that came to the school and raised holy fucking hell. And since she was a top booster at the school, they let her kid start, and then everyone start hating her kid.
Damn.
Yeah, it was one of those kind of situations. And for me, I was on the football team. My mom, I think she might have went to like 2 games. She didn't give a fuck. Like, so it was just me, you know, and I didn't really like. I probably would have stayed on the football team if I had some kind of like support or whatever.
Right.
Just, no one cared about it, and I didn't really care about it. So, like, yeah.
Chris was like, I'm gonna end on a high note after scoring this touchdown that I lucked
Right,
into.
Yeah, my mom was very, now that I look back at it, and I'm not about to unpack my childhood here, but she was very like bad about extracurricular activities. Like, because I was on the debate team briefly. I did a couple plays, and she wasn't going to any of, you know, maybe in middle school, not so much in high school. When I was in high school, I was on my own.
If this was a sitcom, Chris would have scored the touchdown and looked in the stands and seen it empty and be like,
I know, right?
My grandmother would have been more apt to do that.
Okay.
You know, but I never like pressured her into going to my games, because at that time she was like 67, 68-ish, you know. So she was not super old, but just
but when you were a kid, you're like, damn, that's old.
Yeah. And yeah, but not the age. That's actually also not really like, you don't want to be sitting in uncomfortable ass bleachers and shit. You don't have to do that.
Steel bleachers.
Yeah.
Okay. But man, I would have, if I were you and I had gotten home, like I would have made up the biggest story and made her feel so good. Like, Mama, I got the game-winning score. I done scored off a fumble. They carried me off.
Yeah, that was the thing. It wasn't the game-winning score, but it was a score when the game was on the line. It was that crucial.
It turned the tide, Chris.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story, Chris. You know that.
And then in the paper, I was Ely scored a touchdown for blah blah blah. I don't even fucking remember what number I was. I asked for 77, but I don't know if they had that available. That, you know.
That's funny. Chris would have been in the paper. They just got the picture of Chris in the end zone shrugging like, I did it, I guess.
Yeah. And I didn't make the papers or anything like that. Yeah. And then when I tried out for the basketball team, my grandfather had died that week, so I had to go to that funeral. And for a long time, I used to get mad at my grandfather for dying that weekend. It's like, why'd you have to do that, Granddaddy? It was 94, Halloween 94. I'll never forget it. He was born on Valentine's Day too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think to your question, Chris, like I do believe, depending on how big your school district was, like they probably still have all the records, so you could go pester some librarian, pull up the records from that team in the 90s.
Yeah. It would have been 95 or 6, one of those. So I'd have to ask that.
What's the things? I think we were talking about this before. What's the things that they used to have at the library where they go as like the little things you have to search through for, like the newspaper clippings?
Like the microfiche.
The microfiche. See,
yeah.
You gonna have
I don't even know if they still got microfiche out here.
They still have it. Yeah. I tell students to go to it. So, yeah.
It'll be that Wilt Chamberlain picture, but instead of Wilt holding up the thing with 100, it'll be Chris holding up the microfiche. I scored one time.
Yeah. That is just the one time.
Just the one.
Yeah.
Well, they might still have like the news, the school paper from that
Yeah.
They might
Yeah,
have it
'cause
cataloged.
Yeah, because the thing with because I interned for a lot of stations, but those records they don't like. I interned for NBC affiliate out here in LA. I interned briefly for an affiliate out in San Diego, and a bunch of different like television affiliates. And when I call and ask, they don't keep the records of who used to be interns, So they probably keep them if you like get hired by the station, but not for my ass though.
We don't give a damn if you are all-star or not, Chris.
Right.
Yeah, you're just an intern.
You're gonna go up in your old school, be like, Chris Ely, Nefarious Media. I just offered a public records request.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I'd have to do it, because I was so forgettable on the football team. The girl I was dating when I was on the football team, I saw her like in 2023, the last time I was in Knoxville, and she was like, you were on the football team? I was like, I was literally dating you.
You didn't even come to my game.
What did you think I was doing on those Friday nights, Sally?
When he was on the football team, Yeah, shout out.
She's like, no, I thought you were working on a project or something.
Yeah. I know, right?
See me in my Letterman's jacket.
Yeah. I thought you were going to play Magic the Gathering with your friends.
Damn.
Wow.
This is out there trading pogs.
Trading pogs, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons.
Damn.
Oh my goodness.
Damn, that's terrible, Chris. But here's the thing, though, Chris. It don't matter if she didn't remember, if nobody remembers. They can't take away your all-star game, and they can't take away Shedeur Sanders as a Pro Bowler, which is hilarious to me. It is the perfect end to the whole Shedeur Sanders season, Ray.
It really
it's just
is.
one more thing for the offseason for people to get mad about.
Mm-hmm. It really is, and I think while he isn't 100% deserving, I'm glad it ended for somebody. If he didn't have the name Sanders, if he was Shedeur Watkins, like nobody'd be paying attention. But it's funny how he's still trying to use it to be positive and to support his team through everything. And like he could take it one way, like he could take it with the arrogant way and be like, well, I should have been in that Pro Bowl or something like that. But I think that all season you've seen kind of like the maturity with him, and you've seen the way that he's been dealing with the press, especially that one time where he came up to your man's. It was like, what I do, brother? Why you got to be talking about me like that? And it's kind of like he had a playful way, but you kind of could see. Yeah. You kind of could see how he was kind of hurt by the guy's words, but he didn't take it overly seriously. Like he wasn't like I think somebody in Boston like played basketball at Boston, and they were like about to jump a reporter or something like that. But he had like a calm demeanor about it, but he let the guy know that that did kind of hurt, like the stuff that you wrote about me.
Yeah, I think, Chris, like a lot of people, and I think it's going to be fascinating this next season because Cleveland Browns fans, depending on who they get in the offseason, if this is your quarterback room right now with Dylan Gabriel, who is my height, ladies and gentlemen, with the nasty man, we ain't gonna speak on what he did, and Shedeur Sanders, like obviously out of those three, Shedeur is your best chance for any kind of success on that team. And so like they're like, oh, well, he's this and he's that. A lot of what they try to say he is, Chris, is not who he really is. It is just this caricature of a cocky young black athlete who hasn't earned his success. When if you look at it, this dude is a 5th round pick that probably should have been no worse than a 3rd round pick. He didn't raise a fuss during training camp. He didn't raise a fuss during the season. He worked hard. He did what the coaches told him to. He got an opportunity to play because Dylan got hurt. He played decently. Like he had some bad games. He had some good games, but he played like a 5th round pick. Like he played like a rookie. But if you listen to these people, you would think he's coming in and just being the cockiest most arrogant player you've ever seen. And it's like, nah, man, he's just a kid. Then what makes it so bad is I look at some of these other quarterbacks, and I'm somebody, Chris, I like my quarterbacks to have a little bit of sizzle to them. I don't like my quarterbacks being like Tom Brady, where they don't show no emotion, except for when they're yelling at their teammates, and the media lets that slide because that's the leadership, apparently. I like my quarterbacks to have a little bit of fun. And so when you see somebody like a Jackson Dart in New York, who's cocky as hell, and I love it. When you see somebody like your boy Drake May, who got a little bit of that swagger to him, I like that. When you see somebody like Trevor Lawrence, Sunshine, that got a little bit of that fire to him, I like that. But those guys, Chris, don't get criticized like Shador does, in part because I think of two reasons. Number one, his family, in particular, who his father is, and two, his blackness, which those are two things that regardless of what you want to say about Shador, he can change his mechanics, he can change his throwing motion, he can change the way he reads defenses, he can't change who his father is, and he can't change his blackness.
It's crazy when you talk about, like, because when you are the son of an athlete, the bigger that you are is like, it's your son is gonna just take whatever baggage came along with you, you know,
right?
Like, so if you're like someone like a Joe Jellybean Bryant, you know, Kobe, he was a decent basketball player. It's just Kobe didn't have like these ridiculous standards to live up to. Neither did Steph Curry or anybody like that, you know. Even like Trevor Ariza's son, who they're saying is on track to being like a NBA All-Star player. He's not going to have a whole lot of like shit to live up to as far as Ariza's concerned, you know. But when you're, if you weren't around in the 90s, or you were not old enough or of age or coming of age in the 90s, you have the way Deion Sanders was hated. It's something you have to be there for, to experience for yourself. And Deion Sanders never really did anything to make him less hated. There was 1 week he was on SNL, and he was the host of the show, and he was the musical guest on SNL that week too. He's singing that shit. He was funny. It's like the
must be the money.
Must be the money. And then there was the baseball game that he played in, where he drew the dollar sign in the dirt, and what's his name got all fucking mad and whatever.
Tim McCarver.
McCarver. Like, dude, fuck you, dude. Like,
then he threw that. He threw that when the Braves won that playoff series, and he threw the water on Tim McCarver. He said, "You're a real man, there, Deion. Why don't you say it to my face?"
Right? Yeah. I don't think he want one of those. I don't think he wanted any of those issues with Deion Sanders.
No, he did not.
I mean, like,
disrespecting Tim McCarver, R.I.P.
Yeah, because the Deion Sanders was a two-sport athlete. That, like, Bo Jackson was a two-sport athlete that was excellent at both sports, baseball and football. Right. Deion Sanders was decent at baseball, but he was the man in football. And you're a baseball player. The training is different. The athleticism you have to have is different. If you think you're gonna fuck with Deion Sanders, and you're a baseball player, that's wishful thinking, man. That ain't gonna happen, you know.
And it's funny when I look at Deion and Shador, and I've seen a lot about the Sanders family, because, you know, like Chris said, man, if you came up in the 90s and the 2000s, like, Deion was that dude from an athletic perspective. And he talked all the shit in the world, but guess what, Ray? He backed it up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, but so Deion was one of my favorite players, obviously, you know, being a Braves fan and a Falcons fan. And so just kind of seeing Deion's journey, and then the reality show with his family and his kids, particularly Shador and Shiloh. And Shiloh Sanders, to me, is like, him and Jameis Winston need to do their own thing, because them brothers are hilarious to me. But just seeing the relationship between Deion and Shador, and with Shador, what I see, Chris, is he's got his father's kind of magnetism. Like when he smiles, like it's hard for rational people, I think, to hate Shador. And his teammates have rallied around him, which is something rare for a rookie. Like they really like him, and they've called him a leader at some points, which is wild to me. It's like he shouldn't be no damn leader because he just got it. But I think there is a confidence that Shador has in his abilities. Part of that is just being Deion's son. Part of that is his faith, which like him and his family, like they're very God-fearing people, and you can take that for what it's worth. But I think people mistake his confidence for cockiness because of not because of anything he said or done really, but because of who his father is. And they're projecting all of their feelings about Deion Sanders and the cocky black athlete onto this kid who's he's literally, Ray, just trying to stay alive and stay on the NFL roster, dog.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's didn't Deion Sanders have a contract with Nike back then too? Or I want to make sure because I just want to say the Nike had all these athletes that were just kicking ass in the 90s, man. I don't know if Deion
was either Nike or Reebok, I want to say.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, he was just fucking awesome. And that was the thing, like you were saying, Nate, he was backing it up, you know. That's the thing. I was not a Cowboys fan, but you know, that was their two best years, you know, when he was there.
Like there was a game, Ray, I forget. I saw a clip recently of like, you know, Generation Z watches Deion Sanders or something like that. And these kids just having their minds blown by watching old primetime clips. And there was a game where somebody ran a touchdown back on special teams. And Deion, who at this point in his career was not returning kicks or punts anymore, was like, "Coach, I'm going in." And coach is like, "What the hell are you talking about, Deion?" He's like, "I'm going in." So Deion puts himself in on special teams and then takes that kickoff back to the house. And it's like, that's just kind of the athlete and the competitor and the showman that he is, Ray. And I just feel like a lot of people who have beef with Shador is because of it's because of a couple things, but I think it's either they are getting off their distaste for Deion and the Sanders family as a whole and putting it on Shador, or they're spending a lot of time on the internet fighting with people. Like, I'm a Shador fan, but like there are some Shador fans out there who are like off the rails Shador fans. But I think
like QAnon.
Yes. But I think part of the reason like they are like that, and I understand it, Ray, even if I'm not to that extent of a Shador fan, because in the black community, we know if mainstream media, which typically is, you know, the voices and faces that you see are white, if they tend to go after a black celebrity a little bit too hard, we kind of get our backs up. Like, criticism is one thing, but if they go too hard, there's a protective nature in the black community. And so I think like a lot of those people that are on that far end, like the Shador extremist, the Shad extremist, I'll think of something, Ray. But like those folks, I think part of their what?
Shador dies. We'll workshop it. I
think a lot of those people, the reason why they ride so hard for Shador is because it's a reaction to the negative stuff that people are saying about Shador. But I think like I'm rooting for the kid, man. Like I just would like for people to give him a fair shake and be honest about what he is and what he isn't at this point as a quarterback. Because I don't think Shador is a top 15 or even top 20 quarterback, but I do think he's got enough that you can build around if you go into this draft and get you some pieces, because that Cleveland offensive line is terrible. The offensive weapons outside of Rich Fan, outside of Harold Fannin, that'd be wild if Rich Fan played for the Cleveland Browns. Harold Fannin and Quinton Judkins, outside of those brothers, that offense is nasty. That offense is disgusting. That offense is booty, and not Kayshawn Booty, who's going to be playing in the Super Bowl. But that offense is booty cheeks with Jerry Jeudy. I should call the brother Jerry Booty, because he is your number one receiver. If he's your number one receiver, you got problems, Ray Williams.
That is
Right.
true. That is true. And one quick thing, I know you mentioned the family angle. I wanted to go off with the portrayal of the black quarterback angle because I think we've been seeing it throughout the season as far as like black quarterback being questioned for every little thing. You talked about Shador and how he's been approached by the media with his relationship to Dylan Gabriel. We've seen it with Jalen Hurts. We've seen a lot of it this season with Lamar Jackson. We've even seen it with Caleb Williams when he's in a press conference. They're questioning him on, well, did you think that was a wise throw to make? And it's like, the dude caught it. We won. He made it. Like, what are you talking about? Like how black quarterbacks are questioned for like their field IQ or questioned for making the right throws, but those same questions aren't being asked to their white counterparts, like or their loyalty to the team. In Lamar's case, their loyalty to the team is being questioned because there's stuff that's happening out of his control. He's getting hurt or he's getting sick, and then you're questioning this man. Oh, he came outside with no coat on. Shut up. What are we doing? What are we talking about? Like, but nobody's saying these other things about it, like a Drake May or like or Sam Darnold. Like they're
like Josh Allen had a bad playoff game, and like Josh Allen's a great player. Josh Allen himself said, I need to play better. I need to make better decisions. And what you got from a lot of the media, not all, but a lot of the media was, well, Josh just needs better teammates. Josh needs more around him. He can't be Superman and do it all by himself. They're making excuses for Josh Allen that Josh Allen didn't even make it for himself.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's such as life with when it comes to black people too, you know.
Yes.
It's just
Josh,
like
Josh Allen, the face of my fantasy franchise, Josh Allen, by the way.
Ray was part of the media. Leave Josh alone, guys.
Right, yeah.
Nah, man, I was on that man's neck when he came back from that injury, and then I think he only had like 80 yards pass on. What are you doing, brother? Like if you on the field, you gotta get out there.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know if you remember this, Nate, or Ray, but there was a few years ago, probably about 10 years ago now. There was this Deion Sanders was getting flack because he told his kid that if you're gonna be living in my house, you gotta take off the earring and shit. And
you gotta earn your jewelry.
Yeah, and they were like saying he's a bad father. I'm like, when you are a kid and you live at your parents' house, they've got rules that you gotta fucking listen to. It's that simple. That's the reason why I do not live with my parents, is because I do not want to follow their rules. And when I turned 18, that's why I stopped living with them. It's not because I didn't love them anymore. It's just because their rules were not in agreement with mine. So I don't understand. Like this, it's just way, way, way too much overly critical of the Sanders family and just Shador.
Like their family, by all metrics, Chris, is a success story.
Yeah, it
Deion
is.
Sanders and his wife have raised all of these kids that have become successful to certain degrees. You got Shador in the NFL, Shiloh kind of on the outskirts of the NFL. Like if you've got Madden this year and you didn't update your rosters, Shiloh in the game. He ain't in the game no more because he didn't make it out of preseason, but that's neither here nor there. He's still doing his production. He's still doing a lot of good things. His other son is a musician. Like, so they have raised good kids, man, by all accounts. And it's like, but you want to take shots at them, and then they too cocky, they too this, they too that, and it's like, nah, they're just kids.
Yep,
they're just young men.
And ain't Deion Jr. Deion Jr. is like a videographer, and I think he tapes stuff with his dad.
And he got some flack because I guess at Shador's last press conference for the Browns, the camera crew with Deion Jr. was there because I guess they're putting together like documentaries or like footage, because you never know when you're going to use this kind of stuff. and they're filming, and then like they got a question at the press conference. One of the producers of whatever they're doing got a question, and then you had all these journalists in Cleveland like, oh, how do they get preferential treatment and get to be here and ask questions at the press conference? I'm like, they literally asked one question and filmed the rest of the press conference. It's like y'all are doing too much with this young man.
Too much. And it's
like it reminds me, like, again, this is the example that always stings in my brain. It's seared there. The memory is part of the reason why, one of the many reasons why I hate Tom Brady to this day, Ray. And it's because back in the day when Tom Brady used to yell at all his teammates and tell them that they won't shit, Chris, the announcers and everybody, that's leadership by Tom Brady. Donovan McNabb want to yell at T.O. one time. Donovan's really got to get this under control. He's losing respect of his teammates. Now, you can say what you want to say about Donovan McNabb as a leader. I think Donovan McNabb underperformed to a certain extent in Philly. But it's like if Tom Brady yelling at these boys is leadership, then why isn't it leadership for Donovan McNabb?
Exactly. Yep, you hit the nail on the head, Nate.
So best of luck to Pro Bowl quarterback Ray Williams, Shedeur Sanders. But speaking of a young man who is trying to carve his own identity in the shadow of a famous father, let's go to a team. Ray Williams, let's leave the world of football. We'll come back to it after the Super Bowl. But let's leave the world of football and go to the hardwood and check in on a franchise that has a young player on the roster sometimes, because sometimes he's down in the D League. Named Bronny James. Bronny James plays for the Lakers, obviously in the shadow of his famous father. Like Chris mentioned all those names like Trevor Ariza, Dale Curry, Jelly Bean Bryant, and it's like, damn. Like I know Bronny looking at them like, why couldn't my father have been a role player?
I knew we were saving him for later.
Yes, so let's talk about Chris's Lakers, because there's been some news lately about alleged beef, friction between LeBron James and Jeannie Buss, and the Lakers are doing okay. Like they won last night, but there's still some fundamental problems with the construction of this roster that I think is not going to get fixed this year, even at the trade deadline. But Chris, you live out there in LA. You go to brunch at Mr. Child's with Jeannie and LeBron and Rich Paul and them all the time. You know, what do you think of this whole situation where people are saying Jeannie and LeBron have beef, or, you know, the Rich Paul podcast with Max Kellerman where he said, you know, they could trade Austin Reeves and this and that. What's going on with your Lakers right now, brother?
All right, so I heard a couple people give this scenario. The first person I heard say this was my friend John, and then I heard Van Lathan on his show with Rachel Lindsay. What's it, Higher Learning? Say the same thing, and LeBron James. Like, so the thing with the Lakers as a franchise, as an organization, is once you are enshrined in that organization, especially if you win a ring with them, for most players, that is the first thing people think of is you on the Lakers, right? Like Shaq, people associate him with the Lakers. Kareem was an excellent player before he got to the Lakers, but he's associated with the Lakers. You know, Kareem was great on the Bucks, and that's just how the culture works for people that are Lakers. Paul Gasol was awesome on Memphis, but, you know, when people don't think of the fucking Grizzlies when they think of Paul Gasol, they think of the Lakers, you know. LeBron James is the first superstar of that caliber. Because even with Wilt Chamberlain, and Wilt Chamberlain won a championship before he got to the Lakers, but when you think of Wilt Chamberlain, you still think of him as a Laker. LeBron James was never really embraced by the culture at that level, right? And for LeBron James, I think he likes being a Laker, but I think for LeBron James, being a Laker was a box he was just checking off, as opposed to like immersing himself into the culture, and that's all, and that's just kind of where LeBron James stands at the moment. I think Jeannie Buss looks at the stuff she did for LeBron James, picking Bronny, letting Bronny play on the team. I'm like, I mean, they gave him a lot, and she's looking at him as ungrateful, not necessarily because he's ungrateful, but just because he's not like, he doesn't define himself by the Lakers lore the way other people do. Another way I heard it put was, for a lot of these basketball players, the Lakers was the one, that was the girlfriend, the boyfriend, the one that got away, all that stuff. For the Lakers, for LeBron James, the Lakers were probably just another hoe in a long Rolodex whole teams that he played for. Like, I think because LeBron James,
he don't wife him. He just one night some.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, LeBron James is like, when his career's all said and done, unless you're somebody like me, you're going to think of LeBron James as, you probably won't even associate him with a team. You'll just think of LeBron James in the NBA, because he's played.
I think if anything, he's probably going to be remembered. Like if we're looking at LeBron's Hall of Fame, like bust or whatever,
right.
Chris, I think the order I would kind of put it, and it kind of speaks to what you're saying, is Cavs first, because he was there twice. And I think if he has love for any team, it's probably leaning towards Cleveland, because that's where he's from. Then the Heat, because like that Heat run was something that changed the game. And then the Lakers, like it's weird to say, but I think out of the teams LeBron's played for, the Lakers are probably the third on his list of like having affection for him.
Right. Yeah. And the thing with LeBron James too, and I agree with you to a certain extent. But yeah, LeBron James did join the Lakers at a very critical time. He joined in 2018. We were in a rebuilding mode. He won a championship the year that Kobe Bryant died. Was it 6 years ago yesterday? That's when the tragic plane crash happened. Or I think it was 6 years ago today. Today's the 27th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 years ago today.
Well, that just hit me.
R.I.P. Kobe.
R.I.P. Kobe Bryant. But yeah, so that's kind of like, and Kobe is a documented Lakers fan from the stuff that Jerry Buss did to get Kobe Bryant on the Lakers. Is just it's like almost the coup of the century, because like on paper, when you're traded away fucking Kobe Bryant, it's like we'll get rid of Vlade Divac, who's a multi-time All-Star, actually good. It's like we'll get rid of him, and we'll
Vlade was like, "What are you doing to me, coach? Why am I going to Charlotte?"
He was pissed. I remember it like it was yesterday.
for a high school kid.
Yeah, he was not happy. The city wasn't happy initially. Like they were not happy, but Kobe Bryant kind of earned his way into people's hearts. And I would say for the people out here, they're in like probably two categories. Either they like LeBron or hate. All I care about is he won the championship with us, even if it's the pandemic ring. it's still a ring. He's gonna get his name retired on the Lakers too. I mean, it's if Gail Goodrich has his jersey hanging in the rafters, there's no reason why LeBron James
not Gail Goodrich taking shots on these streets.
Well, I'm not taking a shot at Gail Goodrich, but Gail Goodrich, and if LeBron James is just on paper better than Gail Goodrich.
Yes, by magnitudes.
Yeah, it's not even close. So LeBron James is going to get his jersey hanging up in the rafters. I think he came to the Lakers to kind of do what he needed to do. If he wins a championship this year, he will. I think that the city will accept him way more. But if he doesn't, then I think it's just always going to be a half and half thing. So as far as whose side you're going to be on in this, for me, I'm not really on anybody's side. I love Jeannie. Jeannie is a woman about the community. Every time I've seen Jeannie in person, she's always been nice. She's always glowing too. She's like very like radiant, you know. And it's like you can feel her essence when you're in the same room with her. It's a very, very weird fucking thing, but you feel it, you know.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from a man that has lunch, or should I brunch? I don't want to lie to the people. This man has brunch with Jeannie every third Tuesday. So he around Jeannie all the time. And even then, his essence is ruptured.
The aura.
I'm lucky enough to be in places where she is at the same time. I don't have any kind of, like, I want to get that out the way. I don't have any kind of phone number of hers or whatever.
Chris got half ownership in Wild Women of Wrestling with Jeannie. That's how tight they are.
Shit, yeah. Hey, if Jeannie was single before I met Patrice, I'd have shot my shot. I don't give a fuck that she is the same age as Magic Johnson.
That would have been that's a crazy sliding door scenario where we have Chris Ely married to Jeannie Buss like that.
Yeah, I definitely would have shot my shot. Like she's because she married to Jay Moore now.
Yeah, she's married to Jay Moore, which Jay Moore cool. Ain't nobody taking shots at Jay Moore, but it ain't like Jay Moore is like the president of the United States. So a regular dude had a shot at one time.
Right, yeah, I'm about to say like Jay Moore is a funny comedian. I'll give him his props all day, but he's not like in the.
Was he Bob Sugar and Jerry Maguire?
Yeah, she was with Phil Jackson before that, but Phil Jackson didn't act right or whatever.
Yeah, I was rooting for Phil and Jeannie too. They seemed happy for a while.
Yeah, they were. Yes. Yeah, but I think.
That ties into though, Chris, because what Ray was showing on the board was like Jeannie's response, and I do feel like part of I feel like Jeannie almost caught a stray in this because she may have been frustrated with LeBron and Rich Paul and Clutch, the management team, but I do feel like a lot of that stuff that came out was also part of like the change in ownership, and part of the change in ownership was Jeannie had to. Like the Royal Rumble coming up soon, Chris. Jeannie had to be the sole survivor of the Buss family Royal Rumble to win the Lakers, and then be able to move to this new ownership. And so I feel like Jeannie, maybe she was frustrated as a human being, but I don't think she would express that because she's smart enough to know if this gets out, how it looks.
And she think of what she did. Think of what she moved to get LeBron James to the Lakers, right? This was a move. This was her and Magic Johnson together. It wasn't like Magic Johnson by himself. Because for Magic Johnson to get him to go to the Lakers, Jeannie Buss had to be a part of that package, and Jeannie Buss always does what's best for the team first, and she's not the owner anymore. She's the owner. She's still got ownership stake, but she's not the go-to woman anymore, and that was a lot of pressure on anybody too, especially on the city out here. And the thing is like I always feel for Jeannie Buss because you always have to because Jeannie Buss is nice, you know, she really is. Like, she is like one of those people, like, if don't do this, but if you see her on the street and say, you know, she'll stop and talk to you. You know, that's the kind of person, yeah. That's the kind of person she is.
Is that you? Is that Jeannie Buss?
Like, I have never seen her with like a entourage of motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's always just been kind of her, and you know, just her doing her thing, you know. So I think that when the smoke is settled, they will figure it out and they'll get along, and everything will be fine, and you know, they'll put another piece with the Lakers this season, and hopefully we will do something in the postseason, you know. I do think LeBron James, if him winning a ring with the Lakers this season, will just kind of solidify a lot of shit for him, you know. Because like he's still playing at like, he's not playing like he was playing in 2010,
no,
but he's still at a decent level, you know.
Yeah, he's still a top 20, 25 player.
Right, yeah. And I argue and say I think he's better now than he was when he first got into the league. When he first got into the league, he was still learning a lot of different shit, you know. Like when he first got into the league, he was turning into what he ultimately became. His peak seasons are those 2 seasons with the Heat, and then that season with the Cavs, and then you know, that was LeBron, and then he won the one he won with the Lakers in 2020. But he's still at a good level, you know. I mean, he's probably the best, you know, 40-year-old to ever play in the NBA. You know, I
don't even think that's a question.
Yeah, I can't even think it was close, you know, because even when Kareem was like 45 when he retired, I want to say. But he wasn't playing like LeBron is right now.
Right.
Yeah. It just wasn't happening. So yeah. So,
and I think the good thing from this is it sounds like, whether Jeannie felt like this or not, Ray, because this report was out there, it forced Jeannie and LeBron and Rich Paul and whoever else was involved, the new ownership group, to actually talk and communicate and you know, maybe air some frustrations out. But I feel like it's a mutual thing. Like, the Lakers have done a lot for LeBron and his brand, Chris. But
they really have. Yeah.
Like, you can't take away the fact, like you said, people forget where the Lakers were when LeBron came to town. Like, they weren't this team that everybody thought of as like, oh yeah, they definitely gonna be a championship contender. But when LeBron gets there and then they get AD, like, they were in the mix every year that those two were together. They won the championship in 2020. Like, regardless of what you feel about the bubble, like, that to me is a legitimate NBA chip. And then when the time came, I don't think LeBron was like the one that pulled the trigger on this move, Chris. But I also don't think that Luka just showing up was something that LeBron did not have knowledge of.
I don't think so either. I mean, here's the thing too. Like, with if you got a chance to get Luka, you gotta give up anybody that you could give up, man. And I love AD. You know, I think he's an awesome player. But AD is not the same AD anymore, you know.
No.
He was starting to show signs of that shit, man. So
look, Chris, I don't never wish injury on none of these players, man. But I was so happy. Not that AD got hurt recently, but I was so happy because the whole rumor was the Hawks were moving off of Trae Young and sent that brother to raise Washington Wizards in order to free up space to get Anthony Davis. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, AD, like you said, Chris, when he's healthy, one of the best two-way players in the game, but he's never healthy. And so I was like, why would you do that? And then he gets hurt like a day or two after they trade Trae Young. And I'm like, whew, we dodged that bullet.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. So that and I felt bad for AD too because he found. I mean, we found this shit out on a Saturday night. He found out with the rest of us.
Yeah.
He was chilling with his wife and stuff like that, and found out he was going to have to uproot to.
He said he was watching a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's through the group chat, right?
Like Luca was sad about it for like maybe a day or two, and then when he got to LA and saw everybody kissing his ass. He got over that shit real fast, like because Luca is the biggest star in Los Angeles right now, and I'm not even talking about just in the NBA. I'm talking about star period, and that's just what being on the Lakers does for you.
Okay. Even bigger than Shohei and them?
Oh yeah, he's bigger. Well, Shohei is big too, but that's the thing. He's in that category with those guys, The Lakers have been good a lot longer than the Dodgers have been good.
Right.
So people are just now of this age or just now getting on the Dodgers bandwagon. They haven't been on it like for as long as probably I have been or just any longtime Dodger fans. But I mean, that's what being on the Lakers does. And if you get a ring for us, you got the keys to the city for the rest of your life. Like even with Shaq, everybody hated Shaq when he got traded, but now that he's retired, it's like the love comes back. It's just that's just the kind of franchise and culture that the Los Angeles Lakers have.
And I think Chris with LeBron. Like you'd know better than me, but I feel like his post, like whether it's this year, next year, the year after that, whenever LeBron finally hangs it up, I think his post-career relationship with the Lakers fan is going to be better than his current relationship with the Lakers fans because he's not moving back to Cleveland.
Right? Yeah,
Miami. I think he's staying in LA because that's where he's got his production company. He's got his business involvement. Like eventually he wants to own an NBA team. Like I think he's going to base all of that out of LA. So I think he'll be more ingrained in the community after he's done playing.
I think LeBron James is going to run for governor of a state that he's where he lives. I really do think that he's going to do that. I think he's been silently positioning himself to be a politician at that level, that's what I like. LeBron I think his post NBA career is going to be stuff of legend. I think him and Kobe Bryant, like if Kobe Bryant had the chance to have a full post NBA career, it's going to look like what LeBron James's post NBA career is going to look like, right? I could totally see LeBron James winning an Oscar for Best Short, or just being on a production team for a movie that wins an Oscar. I could see him, doing more stuff with acting. I can see him doing more stuff in politics. Because like when you have that level of ambition that a LeBron James has, when you leave the NBA, you're going to need something else to fill it up.
Yeah. I mean, like LeBron, how many terms are you going to serve? Not one, not two, not three. Like LeBron, there's a term limit. I don't give a damn. Not four, not five. But yeah, I think like this whole there's a reason people are talking about this because it's the Lakers. Like if this were happening on the Grizzlies or on my Hawks or on Ray's Woeful Wizards, like ain't nobody really paying attention to this. But because it is in Hollywood, because it is Jeannie Buss, because it is LeBron James and Clutch Sports and Rich Paul, I think people are invested in the story. In terms of like the on-court stuff, I still feel like they're a year away. Like this roster doesn't quite fit.
Yeah. It feels like that because I'm watching the games. It's almost like watching a wrestler that Like for me, it was like watching Braun Breaker. You know,
Okay.
like Braun Breaker is good, but when I watched that episode of Raw on Netflix, and he was going up against CM Punk, it was just glaringly obvious he wasn't ready for that championship yet, you know. And this Lakers kind of feels the same way. They feel like they've got to probably go through another tribulation, another crucible, if you will, something like that before they get the ring, you know. And it just feels that way for me, you know. I was because they have games where it's like, my God, the Lakers are the best team in the NBA. You know, they'll annihilate like a good team by like 40 points, and then they'll like barely lose to a team that's way in, like they'll like to the Trailblazers and shit like that, you know. So it's like it's I think they gotta get. I don't think they're there yet. I just don't think that's where they're at. Yeah.
Speaking of the NBA, Ray, there was another NBA topic you wanted to bring to the table before we head out this week. And it kind of, as often is the case with the NBA, with basketball in general, there are some real world connections. So Ray, what we gonna talk about next, brother?
Well, I know you said earlier that we wanted to keep this podcast upbeat and we wanted to stay happy and stay lively, especially in this new year. But unfortunately, we can't avoid things that are going on within the world and specifically within the country that we live in. And the NBA has figured that one out as well. The Golden State Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves were scheduled to play on Saturday night. But due to the shooting of Alex Preddy by Homeland Security or by Border Patrol / ICE, they decided to postpone the game to Sunday, making their trip, Golden State's trip, being a back-to-back, essentially, where they had to play on both Sunday and Monday night. But that is just that is just the background, or that's just the little bit of story regarding what's going on in Minnesota, based on the things that are going on in Minnesota. And I know, especially with our esteemed professor, I know he would like to get into everything that's happening in Minneapolis, whether it be the protests that happened the day prior on Friday, in which Steph Curry saw it outside of his hotel window, and he felt encouraged and emboldened. And then to hear the news of Alex Preddy, who was trying to defend a young woman from being assaulted by ICE, and then ultimately sacrificing his life, Stephen Curry just felt like a bunch of shame, or not shame, but felt a bunch of sadness and disappointment. So I wanted to go ahead and throw you just everything that's going on with Minnesota. We had, and let's not forget to mention, with everything that's going on in ICE, Keith Porter Jr., who was at the beginning of the year, was shot by an off-duty ICE officer in California. And then we all know about the story with Renee Good, and now Alex Preddy, with the last two names clearly being Caucasian, and now people are starting to kind of press their names to the forefront. But with the Black community, we've been knowing these things about how the state can kill at will and ask questions later. What do you feel about now? And I think we're now starting to see kind of like a bipartisan backlash to everything that's happening in ICE now. How do you feel this is going to change the hearts and minds of Americans who are still trying to defend President Trump? and ICE
And-
and Casino.
For the people that are still trying to defend President Trump, we've got to kind of give up on those losers. They are where they are at. And if you clip this, I'll share this on my Substack later too.
Gotcha.
The problem right now is we were always on the precipice of this, right? I was writing an article earlier today on Kamala Harris because I was listening to like a few different speeches she gave. She predicted every single thing, every single negative thing with Trump that was gonna happen, that did happen. She predicted all of it, almost to a T. It's almost like Miss Cleo kind of shit. Well, better than Miss Cleo. R.I.P. to Miss Cleo, but you know, the thing with ICE is that they are Trump's goons. That's what they are paid to be. They are not well trained, and ICE has always been a trash organization. That's the one thing that people are having a hard time coming to terms with. Certain Democrats too. It's like, oh, well, ICE used to be okay, but then ICE was always garbage. They were garbage under Bush. They were founded under Bush with 9/11 as the backdrop. You know, it was like DHS already existed. How do we regulate? Because they created a boogeyman of brown people from the Middle East. How do we create a boogeyman to stereotype so Bush could run in 2004? That's what that was. So, and Bush ran on that boogeyman, and he got a second term. But at least under Bush, there was standards to get into the organization. That's what I want to say. You had to pass certain tests and all that shit to be an ICE agent. They were still trash. They were still doing like horrible stuff. Even this isn't even the first time. If you go back, Google Donald Trump, Los Angeles, 2018. This shit has been going on for a long time with ICE. This isn't a new thing. They were going on in Trump's first part of his non-consecutive term, and now it's just a continuation of that. ICE has never been good. They've always been trash. They are not a legitimate agency. They do not get trained properly. Say what you want to say about J. Edgar Hoover. He was a racist. He was a dirty cop. He was not a good person. But the standards to join J. Edgar Hoover's FBI pale in comparison to the standards to join ICE. The training is not even the same. To join the FBI, you have to have a squeaky clean record with no criminal shit on it, right? You have to graduate college. There's all kinds of physical tests, physical exertions you have to pass to be in the FBI. For ICE, all you have to do is be like, yeah, I want to be in ICE. And it's like going through basic in the military and then just being immediately thrown on the front lines with no other kind of like training, except it's not even like going through basic. It's a little less serious than that. And like it's such a clownish organization. You got idiots like Fat Superman Dean Cain like bragging about being an ICE agent. Like that's not something you should be bragging about, is being associated with ICE. If you've got a kid and your kid wants to be a part of ICE, you got to sit him down and say that is bad. And you got to threaten to kick that little motherfucker out the family if he's saying he wants to be in ICE, because ICE is not good people. If you if you're joining ICE, you want to join a trained militia that kills people at will.
Right.
The Trump organization, they have okayed this stuff. The only reason why they finally kicked back against this is because of the white people that are dying. And I explain this to people like this, okay? When Keith Porter died on New Year's Eve, it was bad. It was horrible. There was no videotape present when he died. You could muster up some plausible deniability. With Renee Good, there was tape.
Yep.
Everybody saw one thing, and what MAGA and Trump world presented was just a completely different, distorted set of facts that nobody else saw. And I'm not even, and I'm using the term facts loosely because that's not what happened. And the first thing they did with her is, instead of like trying to sympathize with her or just like make the country feel better about what happened to her, they immediately tried to other her, because she's a lesbian. She's got, she's too woke. She's this, she's that.
She's a terrorist.
Terrorist. So that was the narrative they spun on her. And it really wasn't even holding with her.
No.
When Pretty died, it was like Renee. If Renee is the crack, Pretty is kind of the glass breaking, because he was like, I had to watch that video way more times than I wanted to. There's 6 different videos of it, and I was writing a story on it, so I had to make sure everything was what I saw. This guy he's like a diminutive guy. He wasn't even like a big guy. He's like small. He's short and skinny, like really not even no real meat on his bones. Had a concealed carry permit. He wasn't brandishing the weapon. In one of the videos you see when they're tackling him, they actually remove his firearm from him, and then they shot him. And then and MAGA world still tried to spin this, Kathleen Nome, the puppy killer, she went on, the shows and saying, oh, he was a terrorist, he was this, he was that. JD Vance, his dumbass, they was doing the exact same thing, and they were trying to conjure up a story. The problem with this is that these are white individuals, and seeing that for these people kind of shows a lot of people what's going on. That's why you have Maria Bartiromo arguing with Akash Patel. And Fox News does not know what to do with this story. I've watched Fox News clips. They just don't know what to do with it. The right doesn't know what to do with it. What's her name? Grandma Groyper, Megyn Kelly. She said, I know I'm supposed to feel sorry for Pretty, but I don't. Her shit was flooded with comments about you fucking bitch, you evil person. Why? How can you say such a thing? What people don't understand about whiteness is not a race. Whiteness is not ethnicity. Whiteness is a rank. I try to explain this to people. Whiteness is a club that you got to be a part of over a course of time if you fit a certain description. That is what whiteness is. So let's say in the beginning of the century, the beginning of the 1900s, Italian people, Irish people, they weren't necessarily considered fully white.
Right.
They didn't get the whiteness consideration until Black people started to outnumber them. And then on top of Black people, you've got Asian people, Indian people, Native American people, my people as well.
Right.
Yeah, you get all these different races, so you had to add other races to the mixture, right? So that's why white power is negative. White power, being proud of your culture is perfectly fine. That's what you should be proud of. Like, nobody complains about fucking German Fest, you know, or Oktoberfest. It's like, get that bratwurst out my face, German. no one does that, you know, because you should
keep your later hosen, sucker.
Yeah. Like, there's like literally a club Italia at every college I work at, where it's an Italian club, Italian club with Italian people celebrating Italian things.
Right.
Whiteness is not that.
No.
Whiteness is a rank that looks to exclude people, right? Whiteness is a thing to categorize people. Whiteness is something that these people have invented in their mind that they have to keep pure. So if you are a Black person and you have offspring with a white person, what that does is makes your kid tainted. Your kid is no longer white. Your kid is Black, because that's the rule of the one drop. The one drop rule is the minute you taint the race, your kid is Black. So that's and that's what these people are afraid of. They're afraid of their race getting tainted. That's why Elon Musk says all the stupid shit he says. That's why Donald Trump says all the stupid shit he says, you know, because they don't look at the world as an inclusive place. They look at the world as these are people that are trying to destroy whiteness. So when somebody like Sage Still says, I'm half Black and I'm half white, and I embrace both of myself, both sides of myself. Nah, sister, you are Black and you have this other culture that's a part of you. So I don't know what her other culture is, German, Irish, whatever the fuck it is, Italian, Swedish, whatever it is. You are Black along with that culture. There's really no such thing as mixed people. You are Black and that culture that you are mixed with, you know? Blackness is a label that society assigns to you. You don't get to take it away. That's why when the police pull you over, if Tiger Woods gets pulled over by the police, he's not habla fucko, whatever the hell he is.
I'm Cabla-Canadian. I'm Cabla-Canadian, Chris.
Yeah. No, you're a Negro ass Negro. If you are not habla. That's not what you are, my dude. You are Black mixed with Thai. That's the proper way of saying it. It's the Blackness doesn't go away.
Right.
The Blackness is always there. Like even say you have a kid that is half Black, half white, if that's what you want to call it, and the kid and they mate with a white person and they have kids that look more dominantly white.
Right.
That could easily the trait is so dominant that it might be recessive with the first offspring, but you have that person has sex with another person, and that kid's ethnic Black features could show up way more, you know. It's just the way all this stuff works, you know. And what these people are trying to do, the Megyn Kellys of the world, the Tucker Carlsons, the Donald Trumps, the JD Vances, is they're trying to protect rank. They like the caste system, they like the racial caste system in the United States of America. They want to be on the top of it. They complain about equality. They're not complaining about anything real. They are complaining about, I was reading something. I forgot what it was. I don't know if you could find it, Ray, or something. These were white people crying they were saying that Hollywood used to be 80% white. Now it's only 60% white. Listen to how fucking dumb that sounds.
Yes.
60% of whiteness in Hollywood, and you're mad because you lost 20% of it. You know, this is how these people think. They think equity is somehow a punishment against them. You know, not as, oh, we're trying to just add people to the mix, you know.
But Chris, we used to get 80% of the pizza, and now I have to share, and I only get 60% of the pizza. Can't you see how I'm being affected, Chris? They're taking away our pizza.
Yeah, that's you know, that's the part about that is like that's what they're hurt at. They're hurt that they do not have it as easy as they used to have it. They are mad that they have to work for things, you know, and the rank that they used to have has been diminished, and they fear that if minorities start to outnumber them, that we are going to do to them what they have historically done to other racial groups. That's the thing. Yeah, that's what scares them the most. But you know, I study this shit for a living. White men dominate every single career field. Yep. Maybe not nurses, but in higher education, mostly white. Most of the tenured faculty at the colleges I work at are white. Like that's always been a point of contention because in the university setting, we always preach diversity, but then when you look at tenured faculty, there's not one Black person in the tenured faculty, you know. But white people own like blue collar jobs, they own construction, they still run Hollywood, they run tech jobs. They're the most dominant in tech jobs. They are the most dominant in like not a lot of a whole bunch of science stuff because they're going to be outdone by Asians in a lot of those sectors. But still, but that's not something new. That's how it's always been with that, you know. So it's in the whole ICE thing is just a culmination of all of this too. It's like, okay, now we're gonna start killing people off now, and this is where the ICE agents get cocky. When they killed off Renee Good, one of the things they did not account for was the fact that she was a white woman. They thought they could just simply other her as a lesbian. Yeah. Here's the thing with whiteness that they should understand. I don't know why the fuck they don't, but they should understand it. If you are white and you have a lesbian son or a gay or a lesbian son or a lesbian daughter, a gay son, if you've got that going on, what these conservatives do most of the time, they don't kick them out the family. They try to pray the gay away, you know? So, like, if you kill that girl, Renee Good, you're not, you can try to other her as much as you want to, but what white people are still seeing is a white woman dying at the hands of the state. And that's not something that they can handle. Pretty is an extension of what happened to Renee Good, you know, because I mean, Pretty, you can't really other him. He was a VA nurse, but you're still gonna try to do that. So now what people are saying, what these elected officials are saying, Chris Meadow out of Minnesota, all these people, they're like, didn't have any problems with the race stuff before, but now that they see that they're starting to be the ones, the victim of this wrath, this racial reckoning, it's like, okay, hold up, hold back. Philando Castile told the cop, I have a gun on me. Let him know he was armed. They still shot him, and now they're seeing this happen to white people, and it's a problem for them. I wish we lived in a country where we didn't have to see white blood shed for things to start being meaningful to these people. But unfortunately, that's just how we are. If MAGA's not careful with this, that friendly fire that went to Renee Good, Alex Preddy, even to Keith Porter, what's going to happen is it's going to go to one of their own. It's going to go to America. It's going to go to somebody like that. So you really have to put this, under wraps. And I talked to other professors too that were saying athletes need to stand up to this, and celebrities and all this other stuff. I agree. Also, though, if you're an athlete that's going to stand up to this, I don't want you saying anything stupid. That's always my concern with athletes and entertainers and stuff, is if you don't know the right words to say, I do think you should shut up. If you know the right words to say, go by all means, use your voice, But it's a sad state of affairs in this country right now, man. I wish things didn't have to be this way. Unfortunately, it has to be this way at the moment, because they're going to keep doing this unless it is this way, So hopefully, I want to say this too. He did replace that Bovino guy that he had, the head of
Border Patrol.
Border Patrol, with Tom Homan. Man, that's a lateral move, That's you want to get shot in the head with a pistol or a shotgun,
Jeez.
It's better because maybe Tom Homan is a different kind of moron than what's his name, Bovino.
Right.
But it's what they're trying to do is have their cake and eat it too. They want to keep the white supremacy around, and they want to keep the deaths in the streets up, but they also don't want the negative press that comes along with doing that. And that's just what's happening in these people. And it's also great to see Grandma Groyper get cussed out by people online. And Stephen A., you ought to be ashamed of yourself too. But so it's we'll see where this goes.
It's ironic in a way, Ray, because to Chris's point, for an athlete, if you're uninformed or don't know the right words to say, not saying that you shouldn't have a voice, but maybe get with somebody that is informed and find what your voice needs to be in this moment. But it's ironic that the game that was postponed, you had two people that I would want talking about this stuff whenever they feel like it, in Steve Kerr, coach of the Warriors, and Steph Curry, who have both kind of been on these streets, metaphorically speaking, Chris. We saw Steve Kerr at the DNC. We saw Steph Curry come out and speak about some of these issues before in the past. And so those are two people in the sports world that I'd be comfortable speaking their opinion and making their thoughts known. I find it interesting that it always has to get to this, Chris. It always has to get to the point where some people will not acknowledge a bad thing as bad until it affects them directly or indirectly. And I think that's what a lot of people are going through right now in the wake of the murder of Preddy, because it's like, that could be my brother, that could be my son, that could be my cousin, that could be my best friend. And they're seeing that in a way that maybe they couldn't quite see with Renee Good because of how they were trying to frame her, or maybe they couldn't quite see with some of these black and brown folks who've been mistreated by ICE. Like, I think to me, and this, granted, this is not on the level of taking somebody's life, but to me, one of the things that I think more people should have been pissed off about is in Minnesota, in cold-ass Minnesota, Ray, where they yanked that man up out his house. And like his T-shirt and drawers in the middle of the damn snow because he was a suspect. Then come to find out the person that they confused him with is already locked up and has been serving time for months now.
Wow.
And you got this man out here, and like yes, that person is still alive, Chris. Like, thank God, by the grace of God, that brother is still alive. But that's got to mess with your head so much that it's like, even in your own home, you are not safe as an American citizen. And so when you have somebody like Trump out here who's now kind of trying to tap dance like Gregory Hines and change his tune, like, we need to do an investigation. We need to find out all the facts about this. We need to have an honest, genuine investigation when this man has never had an honest, genuine emotion in his life other than racism and probably sexism. Like when you got people like that are supposed to be the grown-ups in the room, when you got people like Kristi Noem that's supposed to be the grown-up in the room, when you got people like I was watching one of the shows, it may have been CNN or MSNBC, where you got these Republican members of Congress that are trying to play both sides of the line, Chris, and like, well, you know, we don't agree with these murders, but you know, we got to do what we got to do to keep the country safe. And politically, Chris, this is a fumble for Trump, because I think if the thing was we just want to secure the borders, even, you know, if I disagree with your immigration policy, I think most Americans, Ray, can agree, like, yeah, we should probably tighten some things up at the border.
Right.
But you didn't go on a step too far with this, because now even people that follow you, even people that voted for you are like, nah, brother, this ain't the way to do it. When you out here killing people, man, that was like Renee Good was somebody that mattered to her community and to her family, and she's gone. Freddie, as you said, man, this brother was doing good things, working at the VA, and he's gone. And it's like, if that's what it takes, like, it's a sad state of affairs, Chris, that's what it takes to get some of these folks mad and like, hey, this ain't the right way. We got to do things better. Like, it, to me, just as somebody who is like, I'm not a professor like Chris. I'm not somebody that's been on these political, you know what I'm saying? I'm not somebody that's been on these political streets like that. But as an American, it's like, it shouldn't take that for you to say that this shit ain't right. Right. It shouldn't take that level of violence towards your fellow citizens, where it's like, oh, finally you wake up and see the light bulb, right? And so, yeah, man, like it is not incumbent on athletes to speak up or celebrities to speak up if they do not feel like it, man. Like, you know, these people have a job, and that may not be their job. Everybody's got a role to play in making this place better. But I do hope the ones that have it on their heart to speak and are knowledgeable about the situation speak on it. But also, we need to start holding people accountable, because as Chris will always tell you, elections have consequences. Yep. And a bunch of y'all, like maybe not a bunch of people that are watching this right now, but a bunch of y'all voted for this. And you can say, Nate, I didn't vote for them to shoot people, not shoot white people in the streets. I didn't vote for that. Yes, you did. Because you voted for a man that don't give a damn. Here's the secret, Chris. Trump don't even give a damn about these white people. Trump does not care about these folks. And so if you got a president that don't care about your cost of living, don't care about the way you're living, don't care that your brother or your sister or your cousin or your friend could get killed in the street, that's who you voted for. And now you're seeing the consequences of the choice that you made.
This is the penance we're paying for not voting for Kamala Harris. You know, we're collecting the bill. You know, it just is what it is. It's unfortunate.
Well, we're good, Chris. We good. I mean, we still gotta endure all of this stuff, but we good. We literally didn't vote for this. But
we didn't vote for this,
but
we still suffering.
Yeah,
exactly. We still gotta go through.
Yeah, I'm speaking to the collective, and you know, on election night, I usually on election nights, I will drink. I'll have victory drinks. If we win, if the right candidates win, I will have depression drinks or sorrow drinks if they lose. On election night in 2024, I didn't do either. I just laid in my bed and stared at the ceiling.
No, I needed look, Chris. That's when you and I are different, Chris. Because I needed about 3-4 of them things after that man won. I was like, no, dog.
I should have got. I needed that too, but I thought I also needed to kind of be sober in that moment and understand America is not the country that I was trying to give it credit for that year. It's just I'm never going to forgive the United States of America for electing Donald Trump for a second non-consecutive term, especially for the reasons that people were giving me, you know, like they weren't moved by Kamala Harris and like making up stuff about her and you know, her views on Palestine and just all kinds of stupid shit. I'm gonna vote for Jill Stein. I'm gonna vote for Cornel West.
And because they voted for this Green Party candidate, Chris, now we got a dumbass commander in chief who's trying to fight Greenland. When in the history of ever have you heard somebody trying to fight Greenland?
I know, right? Like, and the thing is I really do need people to sit with that shame. Because nobody wants to, and then politics is one of those games where people like vote for the wrong candidate or don't vote the way they're supposed to vote. They see all the bad shit going on. And then when you ask them, so do you regret voting for Trump? Oh no, I'm still happy with my vote. Then you're a fucking moron. If you are still happy with that vote, you are a moron, because the destruction around you is partly your fault. You were a part of that collective that said you were okay with this, right? If you live in a blue state, like a solid blue state like I do, or New York, like something like that, maybe you could relinquish yourself of some of the blame, but not really, because that mindset is what leads to people like Donald Trump getting in power. Dictators do not get in power by taking them. Dictators get in power by winning democratically elections, democratically elected. That's how dictators get in power. And then when they get in power, they do evil stuff. Adolf Hitler did not take power. Adolf Hitler was given power. Donald Trump did not take power. Donald Trump was given power. Twice, yeah. And this is kind of what we got to live with. So if you voted that way, I don't think you need to live in your shame forever, but you need to be in the shame. You just got to, this is something you got to feel. I voted for Ralph fucking Nader. And
oh no. Oh, not a 2000, Chris.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray.
Oh,
bring it on out, Ray. Bring it on out, Chris.
Oh no.
Me too, dog. Same note, dog.
Yeah,
that's too, bro.
And I'm not proud of that. Like, I don't go around bragging like, oh yeah, I voted for Ralph Nader, and like, yeah, that was the right thing to. No, it wasn't the right thing to do. Now we got good stuff that came from Bush getting 2 terms. You know, we got Obama. We wouldn't have gotten Obama as fast probably, but Bush was able to wreck a lot of stuff in those 2 terms. You know, Hurricane Katrina, a war that was. They lied about the war, and then after everything was over, they all told the truth about it. Like, oh yeah, we didn't need the war and all this other stuff. This was Bush. Bush was always going to have blood on his hands as a result of that. Just because Bush is not the same level of idiot as Donald Trump is, doesn't mean Bush is like history should like fully forgive that man. He wasn't a good person. when he was president. He did a lot of evil stuff.
That's the craziest thing in all of this, though, Chris, because if you hear George Bush talk today, or even like a few years ago, like during the first Trump term, it's just like, dog, like this man, George W., was like the worst, Chris. And when you put him side by side with this man, this felon that was elected twice, it's like, well, damn, George W. Bush sounds like Martin Luther King Jr. on these streets compared to this dummy.
Right.
Yeah, because go ahead, Ray.
I was gonna say real quick. That's the thing too. Like, it's so funny. Like, we think all these things about George W. Bush, but then I think it was at Muhammad Ali's funeral when he had his head on the shoulder of Michelle Obama. It's like even though Obama's cool with Bush, like,
because the thing with that is like George Bush, at the end of the day, he had a sense of decorum and which other presidents had too, you know. The way conservatives were maneuvering in the 1980s with Reagan and H.W. Bush and George W. Bush in the 2000s is when it came to immigration. I'm not going to sit there and try to spin that they loved immigrants. They really didn't. But when people immigrated to the United States of America from other countries, Reagan is famous for saying this. It wasn't him that said it originally. I think it was one of his campaign workers. But Hispanics are conservatives that don't know it yet. So the play back then was to get Hispanics to become Republicans, not to shit on them, even with like African people, right? George W. Bush, for all of his fuckery, he gave a lot of money to Africa, a ton of money.
AIDS relief, all of that.
AIDS relief, and part of that was if they come to America to get them on the Republican side of things, you know, that was actually kind of a smart play. That's not what Donald Trump and them are doing. They're doing this exclusionist stuff. Steve Miller has the most like microscopic dick energy of anybody in Washington, D.C. And that's kind of the play of these guys. It's like they're jealous of Black people. They're jealous of Mexican, Hispanic people. They're jealous of anybody that is not them because Donald Trump hates Barack Obama because Barack Obama is better than him at every fucking metric.
Yes.
Every way.
Barack Obama is more handsome than Donald Trump. He's more fit than Donald Trump. He's more smart than Donald Trump. He graduated from Harvard. I think he went to Harvard Law. He's you know, his wife isn't bought and paid for. You know, Obama just kills him in every metric. People like Obama. Obama has a Nobel Peace Prize that he won based sheerly off of charisma because Donald Trump is right. Barack Obama didn't do anything to win that Nobel Peace Prize. But when you're cool and you got the suave of Barack Obama, you're just gonna get that kind of shit, you know. And
now you got this man Trump out here like the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase with Andre the Giant. Like, okay, you won the title, Andre, give it to me now with the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, exactly. That's how he is. Like he wants. And the thing about this too is I don't think these emblems mean a whole lot to Barack Obama the same way they mean to Donald Trump. And I think that's the difference between white people and Black people fundamentally. Like, because even working at the Lincoln Project, and I love everyone there, I got no problem with them. But some of those people are just so like yeah, the American flag and blah blah blah, and they absolutely hate flag burning, hate it. Think people should be allowed to do it because it's the First Amendment right, but they hate it, and I'm just kind of indifferent towards it, you know.
I burned the flag last night, dog.
don't say that kind of shit.
It's like, hold on, player.
So we gotta tell these sponsors that's not true. But the point of that is these emblems don't mean anything to me. These conservative statues that they're all crying, complaining about coming down. I didn't like walking in Virginia and looking at a statue of Robert E. Lee staring at me in the face, but I honestly didn't give a fuck if it stayed up or came down, you know. That's stuff they care about, you know. They're the ones that are complying because a lot of these MAGA people don't understand that they associate themselves with losers. They feel the most, and this is psychological too. They feel the most comfort being on the losing side of every issue because it always gives you something to fight over. You know, if let's say Donald Trump and Steve Miller and all those other little dicks in MAGA, let's say they got every single thing they wanted. They find another group to be below them because that's the way hierarchy works. You have to have a group below you to discriminate against so you can feel whole in your bigotry. That's it, you know. And until these MAGAs come to terms with that, they're going to forever be fighting. That hate battle is never won because if you win one battle, you have to find another group of boogeymen. You got to find more people to hate because you have to associate yourselves with losers. Even when you're winners, you have to associate yourself with losers. Donald Trump, his on his mom's side of the family, I believe they are Irish, something. You can look this up, but they're like part Irish. They were a part of the winning side of the Civil War, right? They were part of that, you know. But Donald Trump is a New Yorker. Donald Trump is not from the South. Donald Trump was born in New York. However, if he related to the side that went against the Union, it would taint his brand. It would kind of like say, it would make him. He doesn't have a man to fight against. So you need to position the South as these winners, not these racists, not these horrible people, but they really won the war, you know. Even if you were on the winning side of the war, you have to associate yourself with the losers so you can relate to other losers, you know.
And he's somebody who, you know, as we start to wind things down this episode, he's somebody who is always fighting the battles of the past instead of being a leader for the future. He's always bringing up Joe Biden. He's always bringing up, I really won the election. He's always bringing up Barack Obama because of that inferiority complex. And so it's like,
even when he, go ahead,
Chris.
Even when he wins the election, it's got to be, it was still stolen from me. Because he's got to associate with losing. He has to be a fucking loser. That's the brand.
And it's like the issues that we have in this country, like the only thing I will say that is the meagerest of silver linings, right? It ain't even like a full line. It's like, oh, was that some silver? was that silver? I thought I saw some silver. The smallest bit, the sliver of a silver lining that we have with this whole regime is I am just thankful that Trump is not A, as smart as he thinks he is, or B, has more self-control, because I think if he had either of those two things, Chris, I think a lot of the bad stuff that we're already seeing would be accelerated, because I think there would be it would be more tolerable for those parts of the country, those people that voted for him initially, and also those that may be on the fence. Like, well, he's not so bad. Like, if he presented more like a George W. than a Donald Trump, I hate to see that, Chris, because I think we would be in a lot worse shape, and we're in terrible shape as it is, Chris.
Right. Yeah. The problem with white supremacy, though, and it's really not white supremacy. It's really white narcissism. That's the more proper way of saying it. But the problem with it is it's an irrational way of thinking. So anytime it's up against logic, even the smartest people are going to fall apart, like a J. Edgar Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover was not a dummy, but anytime you underestimate people and you think you are the superior being and everyone else is beneath you, that's a war that you are always going to lose, especially in the Western world. You know, you're not going to win that war because you're underestimating people. Donald Trump, the reason why the White House is doing what they're doing right now, this backlash and shit, fighting against it, trying to walk things back, is because they didn't plan for this. They did not plan for it. And that's how groupthink works. I come from emergency planning. I deal with businesses that need to figure out how to emergency plan. Anytime you make a plan, you got to plan for things going good, but you also have to plan for them going really, really bad. And you have to plan for what happens if this happens, or what happens if X happens, what happens if Y happens, how do we combat it? The people who did not do that, they always end up history as just things that shouldn't have happened, like the Challenger explosion in '86. That was a real faulty space exploration that wasn't explored the way it should have been explored, and you had everybody die up in space, going up to space, including the teacher. What happened with the Bay of Pigs invasion? America got cocky and they thought they were just going to go to Cuba and put American shit on Cuba. And it just didn't happen that way. When these things don't get planned out, all the bad stuff is going to happen at once. And Donald Trump and MAGA, that's the one saving grace that we have as citizens, is Donald Trump, MAGA, Stephen Miller. They are only planning for the victory scenario. They are not planning to lose. They are planning for victory, and they're not even looking at what if scenarios, and that's why they're always going to fucking lose.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what you can look forward to whenever we launch Chris's political show. Because I'm telling you, y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready for what this man Chris really got to say.
I've got plenty of time nowadays, you know, because I'm not. Me and the university are still in the middle of a beef that's probably never going to get resolved. I get all my money from Substack. Not all of my money, but I get the majority.
To be fair, Chris, you didn't have to ask for 5 parking spaces. That's just egregious.
Yeah, the company car, the 5 parking spaces.
They're like, Chris, we already giving you 60%. You can't take 80, dog.
And Chris, you already came up with the title, dog. I got time today with Chrissy. Whenever
we can figure it out, because I'm home 5 days a week. This semester I am not on campus.
Okay.
Fullerton, I was gonna just be going there 1 day a week on Mondays. The thing that sucks about the Fullerton situation more than anything else is the benefits were great, and my wife was on those benefits. I still have those benefits up until March.
Okay.
So that's what sucks about it. But as far as I'm making more money now that I'm just a full-time Substacker than I was at Fullerton, you know.
Okay.
And now a lot of that's thanks to the Lincoln Project and Lincoln Square and Susan Demas and those people for putting my articles on Front Street. and letting my follower count grow. And it's just been a great situation, you know. And the thing I'm hoping for is for all of us to be in that's a similar situation than that, doing the stuff that we love doing instead of having to deal with these corporate overlords. And education, there are corporate overlords there, unfortunately.
Yep. And but yeah, we were all happy for you, Chris. You know what some folks mean for ill, you know, even if you ain't a believer, Chris, what some folks mean for ill, God can use for good.
Right.
And we know you're gonna kill it, man. And I'm excited, Chris, because I feel like whenever we do get your show off the ground, brother, I think there is something in the way that you present politics that even if you're not somebody that has studied this or is watching MS Now or watching Fox News or watching CNN all the time, like you can present it to where the average person can get what you're saying.
Right. Yeah, I hope so, man. I'm hoping that's the conversations we have going into 2026, because you know, we're all being called, you know. we all have to do what we need to do. Diana of Themyscira said it best, you know. Where I come from, the generals don't hide behind desks. We have to get on the floor, you know. And that's what that's one of the things I forgot to say today too. Are these politicians are gonna have to get off their ass, man. Yep. They're gonna if you are concerned about low voter turnout because of these ICE agents, you need to be marching with your people. You need to be marching with them and dare MAGA to shoot you, because they're not going to shoot you. They're going to shoot the lower level people, because that's how they look at things, you know. So hit the streets, and I'm talking to politicians specifically. They got to, you know, you can't tell people, oh, it's all right. You're giving what these motherfuckers do is give you a permission slip like, oh yeah, you can protest legally. Why don't you protest too, motherfucker? You know, why don't you hit the streets and do what we're doing? You can multitask. You can do the desk work, and you can hit the streets for an hour a day. Get you some cardio. That'd be good for you.
Look at that, Ray. Look at that, Ray. This brother hit y'all with the Wonder Woman reference and then brought it back around to what's really happening right now. Jake Tapper ain't doing that. Sean Hannity ain't doing it like that. Only Chris, the Professor Chris Ely, is bringing it to y'all like that, ladies and gentlemen.
And you ain't gotta tell Ilhan Omar that, brother Chris. She already, you know, she on her.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and I'm gonna shout out every elected official that's doing that, because that's important. You can't just keep telling people it's okay to march and then sit behind your desk. What was so pathetic, and I don't know if it's updated or not, Chuck Schumer, you've got to get your caucus voting. You know, it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I'm telling them not to vote on the funding the DHS.
Right.
You got to do more. I'm blanking on the word for it. I'm a political scientist. I should know this shit. But you got to you got to get these people off their ass. You got to get them to vote the right way. No money should go to DHS. ICE has to be abolished. This is not a radical thing to say. ICE has to be abolished and something else has to be put in its place. Like Nate was saying, when you are a nation state, you have to protect your borders. That's just smart business. You don't have to do what ICE does. You can protect your borders in a better way than that. ICE should not be in cities because they're not trained to be in cities. ICE is trained for what they're trained for, and I don't even know what the fuck ICE is trained for, because they've never been good. But they shouldn't. They don't belong in cities. Just like putting army people in cities. You know, there's a certain kind of like policing that armed service people do that's different than what constables of communities do, you know?
Yep. And Chris, people gonna show their ass if, like, I hope it doesn't happen, but if you got these ICE fools running up in people's houses, running up in people's businesses, who's to say, I don't know who you are, you concealing yourself with a mask. If stuff happens, what all these First Amendment people gonna say then, Chris?
Yeah, I know, man. That's the thing.
Right.
That's the thing they try to do with a legal gun, man.
After they disarmed them.
Yeah, after they disarmed him. Looks like you, and this is what you were afraid of us doing to you. You were afraid of the liberals taking away your guns.
And
these because literally had a guy on the street and took away his gun.
Yep.
And then killed him.
Yeah. Like, my God, these people are sick.
Right. It's like I think NRA spoke up. I think they have responded to like a but where the Second Amendment, where the tread on me folks at? Don't tread on me folks at. Like, where are all these people at?
And shout out to the NRA, because a broken clock is right.
That's true.
Twice a day.
Like Margaret.
It's still racist as fuck. The only reason why they're complaining about it is because it was a white guy, because they should have did that with Philando Castile.
Exactly.
But it's still something, you know. Unfortunately, I really hate that Alex Pretty had to die like that, man.
Exactly.
But a lot of lessons can come from the death of Renee Good and Alex Pretty if we allow it to happen, you know. If these people get their heads out their asses, you know. And it's questionable if they will or what. I had to erase people off of my timelines and shit just because they were surgically stuck on stupid.
And to follow up, just real quick, Nate, just to follow up on what you were saying, Chris, not only hold your elected officials accountable, hold all of these businesses that didn't go along with shutting down during the protests in Minnesota. I'm looking at you, Target. I'm looking at you, Best Buy, and Target. You up here allowing ICE to come up in use your bathrooms and also use your parking lots as staging areas in Minnesota. Like, continue to stay on their necks. If you're already participating with the boycott, like, continue participating. If not, go ahead and get into this now. Start holding your foot on their necks and let them know that this is not acceptable.
I haven't been to Target in over a year, which sucks for me because I used to love going to Target. You know, I like buying this stuff. I like buying the earbuds from there, like my television appliances. I used to buy, like, they'd have these quirky shirts at Target and shit like that that I'd buy.
You got the Target dog just sitting there like, I ain't even do nothing to nobody, but they boycotting me, dog.
Yeah. I mean,
damn corporate overlords.
I only been in Target twice, and that's only because one of my wrestlers gave me a Target gift card, and I was like, I got to use it. And so I had to photo stream. That was it. That was it.
If you was real, you would have gone on IG Live and burned it for the people to see.
That's what I'm gonna do it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I have a Target gift card that I haven't used yet either. Maybe
you would have been like Sinead O'Connor on that one SNL episode back in the day. You would have ripped it in half. Fight the real out of me. I'm Sinead O'Connor, y'all.
Yeah. I wonder if she'd even get any backlash for that in 2026.
Yeah.
That she did in 91 when it happened. 91, 92-ish, something like that.
Yo, that was wild because Frank Sinatra was like threatening to punch her and stuff. Like, yo, this. What is this? This timeline's always been messed up, right?
You know, Frank Sinatra.
You threaten to do something that the Pope actually would never do,
right?
And that's what you threaten to do. You know,
I'm gonna hit this broad sea. Hold me back, Sammy. Don't do it, Frank. Don't do it, Frankie, baby. That's not right, Frank.
Yeah, and the Sammy Davis, he was riding with Nixon too.
Sammy Davis Jr. might have been dead by the time all that happened, but anyway.
Yes, Sammy and James Brown in the 70s when Nixon was president, he was touring with Nixon, and the saying was James Brown is Nixon's clown because he was, black people weren't feeling that shit.
No.
We haven't. Yeah. Well, next time we come back, we could dissect Nicki Minaj and all those horrible people.
Yes. But we'll do that on the inaugural episode of I Got Time Today, y'all.
I was gonna say it's either gonna be I Got Time Today, the fuckery, or the learning class. One of those three will be the title.
I Got Time Today is taken. I'm not sure, but
it probably is. It probably is, right? You trying to get this man sued before we even put out the first episode.
Hey, remember, I was the one that was looking up ring theory, y'all. So I would do my due diligence.
Yeah. Some of these patent trolls will come up behind you and buy your fucking patent. Like, I'm more creative than one fucking thought, dumbass.
And on that note, Ray, this was a very uplifting episode, Ray.
Indeed.
But yeah, we couldn't. We felt we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about it because it did have a connection to sports in a roundabout way, and sports has always kind of been a microcosm of America, and America's in bad shape right now. But we will survive as always. And the next time you hear us on the Kings of Sport, we'll be following the Super Bowl, where we'll see if it will be a good day for Macklemore and Ray and all the people supporting the Seahawks, or if the evil empire has risen again and the Patriots dynasty begins anew. This is like, damn, I thought that your boy Kylo Ren coming back was like, come on, we don't need another Darth Vader. Drake May is the Kylo Ren of the NFL if they win this damn Super Bowl. And just remember, much like your president, for a lot of y'all in the country, y'all asked for this with Drake May because you wanted somebody to come and take down the Chiefs and now be happy with what you got.
That's funny. I got a Darth Vader shirt on now.
Okay, Ray. Okay. So, Ray, since you got the Darth Vader shirt on, why don't you tell the people where they can find you on these social media streets, what we got coming up here in Nefarious? I don't know if you know or not. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the schedule that Jay Lacey has produced for us. But what you got going on, Ray?
All right. Well, we just had the watch party, the SBF Outbreak Fights watch party. For UFC 324,
Patty the Batty.
Yes, which was the inaugural card to the inaugural numbered marquee card to air on Paramount Plus. Yes, Patty the Batty showed a very tough showing against Justin Gaethje, but came up short. Justin Gaethje is your new UFC interim lightweight champion. So that was a great fight, and it was sloppy, but it was exciting. And so hopefully you guys got a chance to at least pop in, even for a little bit, to check it out. If you did, we appreciate that. They have UFC 325 coming up on Saturday. Damn. I know. Usually they don't have them this close together, but I guess they want to get the ball rolling really fast. And so Alexander Volkanovski, Alex the Great Volkanovski, is going to be defending his UFC featherweight championship against Diego Lopez. They're going to be fighting for a second time. They fought earlier in 2025 for the vacant UFC featherweight championship because it was vacated by Ilia Topuria, who ended up winning the UFC lightweight championship, but now is getting involved with some crazy stuff with his wife, and so now we had to have the UFC interim lightweight championship, which was on the line last Saturday. It's just it's a cycle. It's crazy, but I'm thinking about having since I'm not going to be watching the Royal Rumble principles. I don't know the jingle as well as you do. But I might go ahead. Hopefully, I can go a little bit more in advance and promote it, and that way, we can have a few more of our friends join us. But yeah, I'm most likely going to go ahead and do.
Stand on business, Ray. You doing it or not, cuz?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do now that I said it. I done said it out loud. Oh Lord, I'm gonna regret that. But
say it with your chest.
At least it starts an hour earlier than it usually does. It starts at 9. But it's gonna be early because it's gonna be in Australia. So I might just
Okay.
That's gonna be fun. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and check that out. I'm gonna do a live watch of that, hopefully, and go ahead and promote it in advance like I should have done the other one. But yeah, if you guys are free to join us on Saturday, go ahead and join us. Other than that, you can always find me anywhere on here with Nefarious Media. My socials, not on that Twitter X no more, but you can find me on Blue Sky at Two-Way Ray, and you can find me on Instagram at Mondo Dondo1.
Okay. Shout out to this man, Ray Williams. Y'all stay tuned for that live watch, UFC live watch, which has been confirmed with Ray, and hopefully we can get Ray some co-hosts for that one, and y'all can enjoy that UFC card. Chris is somebody who I know will not be watching the damn UFC. I don't even know if he'll be watching Royal Rumble. But Chris, what have you got for the people? Let them know about your Substack and anything else you want to promote, brother.
Yeah, so right now the only thing I got is this fucking juice cleanse I'm on, supporting my wife.
Okay.
I didn't want to be eating in her face while she was on the cleanse, so I told her I'd do it.
You got to sneak eat, Chris. You got to sneak eat.
No, I haven't done any of that. The eating that I want to do tomorrow.
Chris, like I'll be right back, honey. I just gotta go check the mail. This man in the windows, in the Jack in the Box, the In-N-Out drive-through.
Right. Yeah.
You gotta eat everything before you get home.
Yeah. This is the 5th day of it though. So tomorrow I'll probably have some Subway or something.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, check me out on the Substack. About 2,000 followers almost. So just keep following. I'm at 176 paid followers, so that's cool too.
Okay.
So just keep on supporting that.
Let's get them numbers up. Let's promote this man, Chris Healy, out here. Bump them numbers up, folks. He giving y'all the real truth.
Yeah. And I appreciate everyone that has been either free followers or the paid followers. The free followers help share me. The paid followers pay for me and keep me not having to go back to corporate education if I don't want to, even though I do need those benefits back. So, but anyway, yeah. So, just continue to follow us. Continue to follow us in 2026. This is going to be a big year, and I'm already kind of seeing it germinate. So.
Okay. I was telling Ray before the show, Chris, I'm gonna have to get you one of the Nefarious Media logo shirts. That way, when you start going on all these talk shows and whatnot, you can wear it under your blazer.
Oh yeah, I could definitely do that, man. Shoot, we need to,
because you know this brother Chris. Hey, this man about to be in demand during the midterm season.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm already starting to get asked to do that kind of shit too. So,
like, is that Chris up there with Rachel Maddow now?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna be on Ms. Now, but we'll see.
Ms. Now
is a wild rebrand, like MS Now. Like that's a wild rebrand.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah.
Don't say it till they invite you, Chris. Wait till you get on the show, cuz. Yeah, then you can tell Michael Steele is dumb.
Yeah.
Hey, where's Lawrence O'Donnell at? I got a bone to pick with him too.
Yeah.
Like what did Lawrence O'Donnell do? I do like Lawrence O'Donnell because he always be sending them deaths to the kids in Africa. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And he wrote The West Wing. So
yeah, he did. Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah, it stayed good up until the end too. It's not one of the shows that fell off.
Yeah, so many good actors on that one too, man. Shout out to The West Wing. But shout out to Nefarious Ray Williams, because that's what we talking about. Because much like Chris, man, We appreciate everybody that supports us for free. But if you want to go to that next level, we are in the midst of the drive for 500 Patreon subscribers, which will allow us to do a lot more things here with the network, bring on additional producers, improve our technology, the tech behind the scenes, upgrade on some of those things. It will allow us to do different things, Patreon exclusive, which is something we really haven't been able to get to over the past year as much as I'd like because we've all been busy. But, if y'all help us out with that, that'll allow us the freedom to do some more things here with Nefarious. And also 500 YouTube subscribers, which gets us halfway to monetization. So if you're watching this right now or in the future, click that subscribe button. Click that little bell icon.
Who's our new merch guy now that Dickie Bird is in early retirement?
Oh.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. Much like a lot of these firms that would do extensive searches to find people and hiring committees, Chris. Right now, I did like this extensive search. Who can handle our merchandise right now? While Brother Bird feels, Dickie Bird might seem like he's getting out the game for a minute. Who can handle all of our merchandising? And I looked in the mirror, Ray. And said that guy right there, which is why we ain't got no shirts for sale right now. but yeah, that is something that this year I do want to get going. Whether we got to bring somebody in again, the drive for 500 will help us out with that. Because I want to put more of a focus on stuff like the merch and stuff like the social media end. Because Chris and Ray and I, we do our best to do stuff on the socials. But like that's not really my bailiwick. It's Ray's gotten better with putting these clips up and stuff like that. But if we can have somebody dedicated on that, like that, to me, takes us to a different level. So there's a lot of things that we really want to do here with Nefarious, and part of the way you can help us reach that level is through financial support. We know a lot of y'all finna get them tax checks back, and we're not asking for the whole check, but just a little piece, just a little portion. You know what I mean? Like this, what other show gives you a man like Chris Ely, not only a political science professor, but also a one-time high school football all-star who scored a touchdown that didn't win the game, but it put his team in position to win the game, right? You can't get that on no other show.
Right, yeah.
I'm gonna say it won the game because y'all can't prove it unless y'all get that. Newspaper.
I mean, statistically speaking, if they had not scored that touchdown, they would not have won the game because they needed those points. So it won the game.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if my high school brags about me if I ever hit it big, because my homeboy Jubin Prang, he is an Emmy Award winning writer for The Daily Show from Knoxville, Tennessee. And I don't know how much they brag on him. I don't know. I don't really know if they. I'm gonna have to ask Jubin that one of these days if they give him Eddie like you're one of our former students' love.
See, now we gotta get Chris to hit a big Ray, because if we do, right, you're not seeing the whole vision, Ray. You're not seeing the vision. Because if Chris,
not the white vision.
Right. Well, I mean, we gonna get there here in a second, Ray. But if Chris, along with Nefarious, blows up, right?
Gotcha.
Not only is he a hero in Los Angeles, but he's a hero in Knoxville, Tennessee, which means, Ray, one day he might get the key to the city presented to him by Glenn Jacobs. Oh my goodness. It's going crazy. It's going crazy.
Yeah.
Mayor Kane and the professor.
Glenn Jacobs is the mayor of Knox County, though.
I love how every time we bring this up, Chris has to break it down to let people know the truth. That's my favorite thing about it.
Well, it's
he ain't the real mayor.
I lived in Knoxville for 10 years. I still don't understand why they need a county mayor outside of racist reasons,
Because there's your reason.
Yeah, because the thing is like anytime, like the last 3 mayors, maybe 4 mayors of Knoxville have been Democrats, But in Knox County, the mayor is always a Republican. So it's just I don't understand that shit.
That's always my favorite thing whenever we talk about Glenn Jacobs is that Chris is like, he's the mayor of Knox County, not Knoxville.
Yeah.
He's the county mayor.
Always got to get that distinction.
I always have to.
Who knows, Chris? You might be so big and famous that even Knox County wants to recognize your success.
I don't know about that, man. I think what we got in Knox County, Shelbyville, Maryville, maybe Maryville a little bit.
Shout out to Maryville.
Loudon, no. Bristol, no. There's a Bristol, Tennessee, and there's a Bristol, Virginia.
Yeah, and a Bristol, Connecticut.
Yeah, it's like I think Bristol, Tennessee, and Bristol, Virginia are like right next to each other.
Yeah, it's one of those cities where like the state line goes through the cities.
Yeah, like Memphis, West Memphis, Arkansas, and Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah.
Yep. So who knows, Knox County? This could be. Oh, maybe Chris gets so big he runs for mayor of Knox County and beats Kane. Y'all ain't ready for that.
My days of living in that part of the South are 100% over. The only if I won't even live in Atlanta again until until the state is blue. Not the city, the state.
The whole state.
The state, yeah, I couldn't do it, man.
And the state ain't gonna get there no time soon with Kevin Stefanski as the coach of the Falcons.
Yeah, like Virginia, I don't see Virginia turning red again anytime soon. So I could if a HBCU needed me to come out there and teach for a semester, I could do that.
Oh yeah, Virginia, VSU. Virginia.
Yeah. Chris come to Norfolk State and be the professor and also Michael Vick's assistant head coach. He'd be like, Chris, I heard about that time you scored a winning touchdown. I think the boys need to hear that. Defensive coordinator Chris Healy.
Yeah. When I lucked into the fumble and got the touchdown.
Chris just teaching the players. Like
Chris, you ain't got to give them the facts. Let us prop you up, baby.
Look, Ray, the players are like, so Coach Ely, do we need to rush the passer? How we strip the ball? Like, no, fellas. What you do is stand about 5 feet outside of the end zone. They gonna fumble, and then you pick it up. You don't even have to run. You can just like fall forward, and we win the game, fellas.
Just patience, baby, patience.
Like Norfolk State has won 5 games straight with the last-minute fumble recovery. How do they keep doing it?
It's like
Coach Ely does it again.
It's like a play. They practice.
Right. All right, guys, it's time. 4th quarter, 2 minutes left. Run the fumble play. How do they keep causing all these fumbles? Like they don't get no fumbles the whole game. It's just the last 2 minutes of the game. Fumble time, fellas. But anyway, we don't fumble here at Nefarious. We score every time. And so that's why we hope you continue to support us, continue to hang out with us, watch us, give us your opinion. Shout out to the people that we saw your comments in the chat today. I didn't have time to address it on the air, but we saw them and we appreciate the comments, man. Join the conversation in these live shows that we do. Be sure to check out Ray's live stream, live watch of UFC on Saturday night. And then for me, find me on social media at @8 MOZAIK at Nate Mosaic. On Twitter, I'm still on Twitter because I was there before Elon, and I'm gonna be there after Elon. You need to leave Elon. It ain't me, it's you, brother. Nate Mosaic 757 on Blue Sky. I'm on IG, all that. But for all of this, just follow us on socials at Nefarious Media, on Instagram, on Blue Sky, on Twitter, on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. So we appreciate the support, and we'll be back on Saturday for the UFC live watch. We'll be back next week with something else. I'm not sure if we might do either Super Salad or a parlay or something, because Wonder Man debuts in about 20 minutes. I'm getting ready to watch this Wonder Man show. So we might be talking about some Wonder Man a little bit later. So, since Hollywood is finally giving up some of that pie, some of that pizza, Chris, they finally gave 20-30% to the minorities. So I might watch Wonder Man.
They're taking over, goddammit.
They're taking over. It's been hilarious seeing all these Wonder Man fans. Like, you ain't no Wonder Man. Like, there may be like 20, 25 Wonder Man fans in the world, Chris, but everybody on the internet, Wonder Man is white.
Mm. Yeah.
Why are they race swapping our heroes? Like, y'all didn't give a damn about no Wonder Man before this show came out. But anyways, and Marvel dropped the trailer for Daredevil Born Again Season 2, which looked pretty good too. So Marvel trying to come back a little bit on the road to Doomsday, which may be a subtitle for this year's midterms. Chris will tell you about it the closer we get as we on the road to Doomsday. But that is going to do it for this edition of the Kings of Sport. Glad y'all were able to check in with our Super Bowl preview. We talked a little NBA, and then, of course, we talked about what's going on in America in the game of life. But we'll be back in a couple weeks with another edition of the world's most dangerous sports show, where we review what happened in the big game. So, for Ray Williams, for the Professor Chris Ely, I am the Godfather, Nate Milton. And whatever they want to say about you, Shador Sanders, the one thing they have to say now is you a Pro Bowler, dog. Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Yes, sir.
Because you've been down with the Kings. Hit the button, Ray.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?